You guys didn't hear Hunter, but Hunter was like, let's fucking roll! Hello, everybody! Let us know if you guys can hear and see us on this fine Saturday, where we are going to be talking about RWBY Ice Queendom.
If you can smell us, that's not YouTube. You have synesthesia.
What does that mean?
When, like, your senses are
No,
crossed,
but
so
why?
you smell a thing?
Why
I don't know. Maybe because it's like you can hear and see us. I'm like, maybe you can feel us.
Oh, I totally
Maybe they
forgot
can
what I
feel
was
us.
saying. Oh, okay, so maybe they can smell us? Is that what you're saying? Hi, everybody. Let us know if you guys can hear us, see us, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna drag the microphone forward a little. Let's rage! Oh my god, yeah, let's rage, guys! It's a RWBY season again. We're so excited. Listen, okay,
My
guys?
will to live has returned to me.
This is gonna be a long one, not gonna lie. So, like, if you have to come in and out, we're gonna have timestamps. We're doing all 3 episodes today. Like, it's gonna be a thing, you know? But, like, it's gonna be okay. I can't. We need to do it now because next week is RTX, and I have exams and, like, school and stuff. So, like, it needs to happen now. Because if it doesn't happen now, it's not gonna happen. So we have to do it today, is like my mentality about it anyway. So I hope that you guys have all been doing well, you know, since RWBY has been a thing and you guys enjoy our discussion today. I would like, though, to make an announcement before we start, okay? Hunter's like, Lord. Okay. So, this is not Ice Queendom related, but
It's aggressively
and I'm gonna make a video about this. However, the channel Calxiyn is hosting the first ever Desert Oasis Fox X Neo week. What is a week? Okay, a week for a ship is when people who like the ship, or maybe people who just like me, but anyway, people who like the ship, you're supposed to like the ship, gather together
or people that are friends of me that I can, like, convince to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, you gather, you know, all the shippers gather. The fan artists and the fanfic people, they all gather and they do shipping things, okay? So if you're an artist or you're a writer or whatever and you like Fox and Neo and you would like to participate in Fox and Neo week, these are the dates. It's gonna happen in August. This is the prompt list. Take a screenshot. It's on Twitter. It's gonna be a thing. And the people that submit art or fan fiction will be featured in a YouTube video, very similar to this one, like a stream. It'll be a stream of some sort where we look at all the art and we celebrate all the art, as long as it's not, like, not safe for work or anything. So, if you would like to be featured on the Calxiyn YouTube channel to people, you know, I don't know how many people will be there, but, you know, to a large amount of people. I'm just trying to be convincing to a large amount of people, and you like the ship. There is Fox and Neo week. I will also be participating. I'm not just doing this to get free art, okay? Like, I am also participating.
Yes.
I will be drawing and trying to flex my art skills as well as making some fan fiction. So, if that interests any of you, if you know any artists or fanfic writers that would be interested, make sure to send that to them. And they will be featured and fully credited on the Calxiyn channel. You know, maybe nice to showcase some community artists who do the things I want them
Now,
to.
can you please un-Mike Wazowski me?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Okay.
Hunter. All right.
Okay,
That was
fine.
our public service announcement. I am
appreciated.
going to be making a YouTube video about it, like, you know, another announcement video. But since we're all here, I thought, you know, maybe a good idea, okay? Hi, I'm really excited to hear you guys' thoughts on the new RWBY series. Thank you, Elemental Covers, for the $5 super chat. We are going to start talking now, I promise. And so as you guys
And we
can
won't
see,
stop talking until 4 hours have passed.
Exactly. And so as you guys can see, you know, I'm going to turn slow mode off because I don't think that it's that serious. I think that you guys are going to be okay. How do I turn it off? I don't know how. Does anyone know? Do you guys know?
Hold comments for it now. Okay.
How do I turn it off?
We're just gonna roll with it.
I mean,
at
we
this
could
point.
just leave it, I guess. Maybe it's, slow off? Or slow mode off? Or slow mode off? Okay, well anyway, neither of those things worked. If any of the other YouTubers in the chat know how to turn it off, because I feel like you guys don't need slow mode right now.
Can you tell it's been over a year since we've done one of these?
Anything, I'm so bad.
Is it, is that revealing?
Yeah. Well,
Anyways, the first episode
Let's talk about the first episode. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting because I have to kind of multitask.
Oh, and
all
we're
the windows here.
slightly
Hunter wants to be in
I
this
want
show.
to be in RWBY.
This will help us point
Look,
at things.
Ma.
It'll also help us with other things, but it'll help us point at things as
And
well.
you get to look at my shirt. I
So,
guess.
okay, so I know that we're not gonna go frame by literal frame, however...
How many screenshots have you taken for this, Kaylin?
Too many. So, anyway.
Tell that it is 1,500?
Yeah, it's over 1,000 probably. Yeah, so anyway, but I thought this was interesting because I think the implication is that like the legends scattered through time are Ozpin.
Yes.
Because they're all Ozpin. Like all of the orbs are Ozpin.
That or these are just various different like crop circles.
It looks like the little orbs from like, you know, when Ozpin like does the thingy and like you know, the big explosion in Volume 8. That's what it looks like to me, right? And so yeah, then we have some Adam and Eve stuff. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a reference to Salem and Ozpin, but
maybe, but I feel like this is a remake because in the original RWBY it was very like two-dimensional.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say cheap because it has its charm. But this is a lot more intense, high budget, and well animated,
exactly,
and artistically interesting. And I was
like
way
I
into
said,
it.
We aren't gonna do the whole thing. This though, I did take a screenshot of this because this reminded me of something from Full Metal Alchemist, like all those like I don't know,
the little black monster and the
I don't know, like all the
jar?
underground, like the underground people. And
oh
they were all,
yeah,
like,
with the white faces, yes,
and stuff. Anyway, so that was random, but I just wanted to talk about that briefly. But these Grimm. Oh my god, like these Grimm look so good. Like look at this. I love like how pointy they all are. Yeah. And like they're just
and they
so
look
pointy.
new, like the Mantis Grimm. I don't think
the
we've done
Mantis
a
I don't
Mantis
remember.
Grimm
We have there's a scorpion up there. I think the narrator is Salem, but since this was the Japanese dub, like we don't know.
The original
you know what
Salem
I mean?
Voice.
Hi you all right. Hi Riga. I love your new profile picture, by the way, Riga. It made me very happy. So yeah, then we just have some people getting bodied. I do think that this animation was just great.
It was gorgeous.
I love like the storybook feel and the fairy tale feel. And again,
I like how he like just wipes it away and there's fuel like right there.
But I will say that is it coincidence that this dust crystal is green? Because that could be, again, a reference to Ozpin, maybe, right? And so that's just sort of something that I wanted to talk about a little bit.
That's giving me big, the drapes were blue. What
maybe, but I'm just saying. And this Grimm is good, too. Like, we just have so many Grimm. Speaking, again, of Ozpin, I am wondering if because the sword has this random green... why would it have that, Hunter? The rest of
I walked outside and I saw grass and I thought, oh my god, is this an Ozpin plant?
I'm just saying, like...
Who's to say Ozpin wasn't a field in his past life?
Is this not green? Like, why would they do this?
It is indeed green.
You know, so I feel like that it may be a reference to Ozpin, that this is Ozpin leading, like, the circle and, like, leading people, you know, back before he did the bads and, you know, got them all killed and whatever, right? And so, okay, so
he
first...
did the bad. Murdered.
This is amazing. I loved this conversation. I think this was great. I mean, everything that they did to, like, move stuff around and make the plot more cohesive was amazing. Because, like, listen...
Or just flow better
Arnold
and faster.
disagrees with me, but I don't think that Whitley existed before Volume 4. I genuinely don't think that he did. So, it's, you know, hindsight 2020, if you were gonna redo RWBY now, you probably would want to make at least vague reference to the fact that Weiss has another sibling. Because I feel like he really did not exist. And it's kind of like that with Ty. Like, we never fucking saw Ty.
That's true.
You know? And so it's just nice now to have the hindsight that you know now to be able to, like, see these things, I guess. And so, like, I just really liked this. And I liked this little conversation. The sword is Jean's sword? Is it, though? Does Jean's sword have that green thing on it? I mean,
I don't
it could have been
think it's
modified.
as gold.
I don't know. It could be Jean's sword. It could be a reference to Jean. I think it's a reference to Osmond, who
Is
those two things
would
could
John
be
wear
related.
green? Exactly.
No,
Checkmate,
those two things
atheist.
could be related. So wait, what? And so anyway, I just love this too. Like, all of this was obviously like beautifully like
it was very
animated
gorgeous.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
it was. I was so excited for it.
It
was
just
so cool.
everything just looks so nice.
And
like,
look at
RWBY
Ruby.
is
Look
so
at my sweet
cute.
girl.
Yeah, she's
I
just
wanna pet her.
adorable. It sucks that I have to look over here because I'm like in the direction, like the wrong direction for the microphone. But I do like that we see like Ruby's like a little frustrated. Like, you know, what do I have to do to like be like her and like get into Beacon and stuff? And the answer is to be as reckless as Yang would be and fight some people, you know, in a store.
Yes.
Right?
Take
So I think that
people's
was
ass
interesting.
in a HB Wi-Fi.
But yeah, like I love this and like how shiny like the weapons are and everything.
I know.
I think
And
it's interesting though that Ruby has bad grades. Because that's the, like, shonen protagonist. I love that.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like she's good practically, but
right, yeah. Maybe
like
doesn't
sitting
test
down
well.
and writing
We love an
doesn't test well.
ADHD queen, alright? Like,
Ruby absolutely should have ADHD.
Yeah,
I'm very pro Ruby having
like
ADHD.
me. And I thought this was cute. Like, just this whole conversation.
Look
I
at
thought
my
was
girl
so
with
nice.
her shotgun.
And to, like, establish
Sniper
Summer
rifle.
Rose, and, like, later on in... Is it episode 2? Later on in this episode, the same thing happens where Ozpin talks to Ty about Team Stark. And I just think that's so much more cohesive than, like, Ruby randomly getting into Beacon. It's sort of like a little nepotism. Like, Ozpin's like, yeah, hi, Ty Yang, this is your kid, right? Like, you know, like, they have kind of a nice
nepotism.
conversation.
That's
you know?
really, you know, because I made a joke and I think our reaction where I was like, oh my god, could you imagine if getting into university was this easy?
Yeah, I
But
know.
then you're right, it's nepotism. It is that easy for some
isn't
people.
It? And so Yang, beautiful, stunning. She's just gorgeous, right? And I just love how much they love each other.
Oh.
I feel like that they really improved not only the sisterly relationship between them, but also just Yang overall, because Yang was very passive as far as I remember, like in volume 1 to an extent.
Well, they
like with certain dialogue lines like, oh, well that racism's not necessarily true, Weiss. Like they made her a lot stronger here. And I feel like it's just because they have a better grasp on Yang's character compared to the beginning. And so like I'm taking this as the canon version of volume 1.
They also justify her actions better.
Yeah.
Like there's in the Volume 1, there's a famous scene, and we'll get to it, I guess.
Yeah, where she just, like, ditches Ruby
it's like,
for her
sorry,
friends.
I gotta be with my friends, but in this one, they do a better
like
job.
Ty Yang actually tells her,
like,
right?
no, you gotta make sure that you can't just coddle her. She needs to learn to be her own person.
And, like,
she needs to meet new people.
This is so cute.
And
like,
it makes more sense.
And I loved her winking at the grave and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, like, Yang was undercooked. Like, now, she's not raw meat, she is cooked meat, as
she
they
is
say.
well done.
As they say in the Genshin Impact community. She's, like, medium rare, you know?
Medium rare. It's fine. She's delicious.
And so I think that they did much better with Yang's character and stuff.
Yes.
This is great too. Like we love a good Weiss. I did not expect to see Calxiyn at all.
Looks
so
like
I feel
older.
like again, like I know that maybe Dan is right in the sense that like I doubt that like. How do I explain this? Dan is probably right in the sense that they conceptualized Willow and Calxiyn and stuff around Volume 2, but they didn't have it in Volume 1, so it's nice to see that Calxiyn, like, actually existed, because, like, I mean, in the white trailer, it isn't a guarantee that we would have seen him, but, like, it's nice to know that he's alive. Like, you know what I mean? He should have been there around that time
I do feel like this Calxiyn is slightly different. Like, whereas other Calxiyn is, like, jovial.
Very strict.
He feels, like, more solemn.
But maybe he's solemn because he's sad sad that she's leaving, right? So maybe
like
it's like
he's worried that she's gonna get hurt.
Multitudes, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe when she comes back, he's jokey because he's happy to have her back.
Also, but he isn't later on. Anyways, he looks like the detail they make. People talked about this, how people don't look old in
RWBY.
I know. People look old in this show.
And I think that's great. Like, okay, I'm gonna say something a little controversial, okay?
Yes.
Everyone looks better in this art style. I don't care what you say, everyone does. Like, because the 3D models do not have the capability to show age. Like, Miraculous Ladybug kind of has this exact same problem where they all just sort of look like 3D Barbie dolls. Like,
At best, they have like crow's feet around their eyes.
The only good studio that has done good 3D is Beastars. I will stand by that, other than like Disney and stuff. But like, you know, like I'm not expecting Rooster Teeth to be fucking
Mother Gothel
Disney,
doesn't look that old either.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
I guess that is the point of Mother Gothel, that she doesn't look too old. Okay,
but, like,
never
do you know
mind.
what I mean? And so, I don't know. I just feel like that they all look so much better here, and it's just because, like, there's more capability.
Just admit that the men are sexier.
And the men are sexier, okay? Roman is sexy. And nobody was ever sexy to me, like, in terms of actual RWBY, right? Maybe when I see Fox, I'll change my mind, but, like, in terms of RWBY, in terms of actually, like, in the canon, like, no one's really hot, right? But Sun in this episode has me, I've fallen over. I am sipping and I can't get up.
He's got his abs have abs.
His smile, like, it's just so much more
expressive. The sun-kissed skin.
You know, like, it's just so much more expressive than regular RWBY can be. And, like, honestly, I would pay money for them to even, like, not ice Queendom, just redo everything like this. Like, you know what I mean? And I know that, like, some people are going to take that the wrong way or whatever. But, like, then you get double the money for the same stuff you already wrote.
Yeah.
Like, just redo everything.
It works for Disney. Exactly. It can work for
just
Rooster Teeth.
Redo everything in 2D. Like, you know, and then Fox will be more sexy than he already is. Oh, man. Okay.
Also, Klein kind of looks like your grandfather.
Yeah, Klein does look like my grandfather.
Sans a mustache,
but I just love Weiss, and, like, she just looks so good, and, like, oh my god, I have so many, like, faces. I just have, like, screenshots of their faces. They are getting the mileage out of this, by the way. Yeah. It is so funny to me.
Whoever drew that painting, they really are just like...
I know, they really got, like, again, the mileage out of this portrait, so... I thought that see, and stuff like this. Yeah. Like, this was stuff, again, I wish was in volume 1. And so I like this. Like, I like how we have Willow, and she's just fucking... getting drunk at what time is it? Like, 12 in the afternoon. Like, that's great. And then also, like, the garden and stuff. It's just so good. I love to see
I like how she's still... Willow. I love a classy alcoholic.
I know, she's like swishing the wine.
Like, my caliber of alcoholic, we, like, mix, like, orange juice with grain alcohol. Not her. That's probably like 100-year vintage. She's probably like letting it breathe. Did
you guys figure out how I can turn slow mode off yet? Did anybody figure that out? Let me know. If you guys figure it out, let me know and I'll turn it off. But I don't know. So I'm just reminding you guys once again that I would.
You're right, Brittany, the snowboarder. Canada is melting because Cal is too hot for Sun.
for Sun. And for Roman.
Roman is pretty good.
But why Red Rhine? Is it a reference to RWBY? It's a reference to Raven, alright?
It's a reference to she's a wine mom. That's what it is.
Yeah, so I just thought that this show
and she does not care if it's the summer or if it's in the evening,
and
early evening drink.
Whitley.
She's gonna have red.
I didn't expect to see Whitley today. Like, this was great. Like,
good old
Whitley's
Shitley.
Little face. Okay, hold on. Dan's giving us instructions. Okay, you see the edit option? Yes. We click it, and then we press customization. Oh, bitch, we found it. Okay, thank you. It should go off now.
Sweet.
And now you guys can spam to your heart's content or whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's so hot. It's so hot right now. And I took the fan up to my room so we don't even have it. And so I love this. I love, like, the beef that she has with Whitley. It's so good. And I like how he says he's worried about her. But I'm like, are you really? I think he is a little, because he does sigh in relief at one point. And, like, you could take that, in a bunch of different ways. But I guess we'll see. Right? And I just love, like, I'll try to show some of this. I just love, like, the shot composition here. Yeah. Like, I love, like, boom.
They do
boom,
that a couple times, which is really interesting. Great.
And I love this. Like, she's in the light while Whitley is in the darkness. Where's Arnold? He's at home. So, I've always watched you, my
He's in the
fearless,
dark-
foolish sisters.
He's in the darkness because that's where twinks reside.
Oh my god, and I think that's good development for Whitley too. It's like he's sort of in the shadow of
Yes.
his sisters, right? And he seems a little angsty about it. And like even Whitley,
Also,
he looks so good.
he
too.
says fearless, foolish, so like
Yeah.
he's almost kind of
He's
complimentary.
admiring them. He wishes that he could do what they're brave
Yeah.
enough to do, you know?
Because he's too soft.
And so I think
And
that that's
spindly.
good. And like this cathedral,
Gorgeous, yeah.
Lord, oh my god, like it's just beautiful.
Also, that's when you know you have like fuck you money.
Yeah,
When like
I
you
know,
can make
right?
like a place where you like presumably train and like fight people look that nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine like they're gonna be shooting and they have those stained glass.
I know, yeah,
That's-
exactly.
Either those are bulletproof or he does not give a fuck.
That is
'cause he's
true.
just gonna fix
That
them
is very
again.
true. So yeah, Jacques again, he
looks
great.
old.
Like, it's good. It's
He looks
much better,
mean.
in
He
my
looks
opinion.
way meaner.
And I think that's good. Like, I think it's good.
It's
Winter
good.
looks beautiful.
I love the separation, how they're on different sides.
Exactly. And I think that part of this may have been in the manga anthology as well,
Yes, I
heard.
recall it being in the manga.
And so, like, I just love, like, look at him. He looks so old. He doesn't look
He
like...
looks like
He
he's
doesn't look
calling
like a
me...
20-year-old that has
Yeah,
white hair
He
anymore.
looks like he's calling me a slur right
Oh
now.
my god. And I just love this, like, little conversation between them. I just thought that this was great.
Voice is prepared to
Right?
do
I
it.
like Whitley standing on, you know,
I look
Jacques'
like how
side.
Whitley is like the baby Pokemon that evolves into the big angry Pokemon.
That's so true, though. Oh my god, I love that. And, like, look at this bitch. The stained glass is so, like, it's so beautiful. I just thought that that was great. Oh, by the way, guys, our reactions are up on Patreon. I probably should have said that before, but all our
Oh, but you were
reactions
too
are up on
busy
Patreon.
showing
I was
off
too
your
busy.
Desert Oasis
I
week.
know, Desert Oasis Week's more important than the Patreon. If you want to go
That's
see
how you know we don't do it for the money.
Exactly.
We do it for the love.
If you guys want to see our full-length reactions to all of the episodes, they are all up on Patreon right now, as usual per RWBY season and stuff. But look at his little face!
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a sweet little boy.
Anyway, and so yeah, I just loved this. And like the pull
Crunk,
the lever.
pull the
crunk.
lever.
He looks more muscular than in the show. Like his shoulders are very broad.
I mean, he's just like,
remember.
that's what he reminds me of your grandfather. He's just like kind of short.
but
and,
also
and
like
squat.
broad somehow.
Yeah, broad, yeah.
And so I just loved this. I thought that this was great.
I love the idea that, like, I hope that we eventually get a scene where, like, Klein starts kicking ass and he takes off his shirt and it's kind
man.
of like,
And I
kind of
just
like
loved this
Hazel,
shot.
where
Like,
he's just
I thought
rippling.
that this was just great. I have a couple like combat shots that I just like, oh my gosh, it's just good. Like, look at this, like, damn man, like all of these, just like all these battle
Also, what was really
shots.
unfortunate is that they made the guy in Geistgrim kind of cute. Because, like,
Yeah.
when he would fall over, he'd go, oh, and I'm like, oh, he's just a big guy.
When
He's
will the
just a
shorter
fella."
reactions be coming to YouTube? We don't know. So yeah, we don't know yet. So
Rooster Teeth won't tell us, we
Rooster
don't want to
Teeth
have a
won't tell
strike,
us anything,
so...
so we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're not sure yet. So Patreon is pretty much the best way right now to go.
I love that someone also made the pull the lever Kronk reference. I think I
Exactly.
did when I
And
watched
so
it.
yeah,
live.
I loved like the glyph usage. Like this fight was just so good. We're not going to go through all of it, but like I watched it on 1.5 speed to take the screenshots, and I do think that was better than the speed it was at. Like Weiss felt a little slow,
You
but I think
mentioned
that's
that.
just a coincidence because like Blake was really fast
Yeah.
in her fight. So
And
I
that's
don't know.
also maybe just how Weiss fights. Cause
yeah, but I
'cause,
feel
like-
like she was faster.
Because,
than
like, Weiss
Taylor.
is, like, dignified and plotting, whereas, like, Blake's really harsh and she has to kill people and do it fast and get out, because that's, like,
I
she's
guess,
the
but I
kind
just
of-
I feel like she was faster. Is it like an
She's the
illusion?
Vanguard?
An illusion of
Maybe.
speed? I don't know. Are the screenshots? No, well, sort of. It's kind of like an in-between thing. We usually do this for B-Stars and Attack on Titan as well. So yeah, it's just like, you know, fair use is like how much you're using. So if
Yes.
we're not using them, we're good. So I just take them off the screen so we don't have them on the screen the entire time, you know? But yeah, like this was like an amazing scene. This was great. Oh my goodness. Like I just loved this. Like this was so good. And like look at Whitley.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, she got concussed.
Oh, what
She'll
a
never
shame.
walk
'Cause
again.
maybe he doesn't want to be alone. Maybe that's why he doesn't
Maybe.
want her to win. Like, you know?
I think that he's just, I like,
yeah,
and I feel
I
like you
love this
realize
too.
later that Whitley's just so damaged and he doesn't understand how to relate to people.
And this was such a good
Yeah.
reveal, like the blood dripping down her eye, like how she got her scar. I think that was really, really good. But yeah, that was the only thing I did feel like it was slightly
And then
slow.
Black trailer. Although I have to say, you missed a transition screen where, like, it goes to, like, the
There's
blood.
a leaf, yeah.
and then it
whoosh,
transitions.
whoosh.
What
It was good.
What I do miss about the original Black trailer is that there's a scene where, like, Blake is just posing on, like, a stump or a rock.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
she's
And
like
then she
gorgeous.
gets off the rock, yeah.
And then Adam comes in. Like, she looks like she's pondering. Like, she's like, "Do I really want to do this?"
So
and
you don't get to see that like decision, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
but it was still gorgeous. This was my favorite like callback scene.
Yeah.
Like the Blake and Adam fight.
And Adam's interesting because I had to catch myself.
Say it.
Because I was like,
say it.
Oh, like this is kind of cute. He's flirting with her, and then I was like, oh wait a second, it's still Adam. You know what I mean?
You know why
He's saying like, oh, are you scared? And she's like, do you think I'm the type to scare easily? And he's like, I'm very aware of your bravery. And I was like, oh, that's sort of sweet. And then I remembered.
He's an abusive boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. And so I was like, oh no.
The art style was so nice. The art style was so
Gaslit me.
nice. I briefly forgot he was a piece of shit.
I know. But like, I don't know.
Also,
it was like,
throw him up on the screen again, please. If you could, and then go back a bit. This is how this is how you know he's not worth your trouble. He's Naruto running.
Well, so is Blake. So what does that say about Yang?
It means that when women do it, it's fine, but when men do it,
Yeah, we are gonna talk about
don't
the
trust
music,
a man that
actually,
Naruto runs.
because the music, I think that's one of my major criticisms as well. Is
It
the
loses
lack
something.
of music. We definitely lost.
And not
something.
only the lack of music, but the type of music, because it's all orchestral, and sometimes
or
it
not
goes.
Not even the type, but just the impact. Like
Because it'll sometimes go harder.
You know?
But it's so quiet, and I kind of miss the like people make fun of RWBY butt rock, but it does something. Like it's good.
The syncing of the music with the fighting is what I miss. They could have still done that with the orchestra. I just feel like that was like sort of a miss. But we'll talk more about that
Like my favorite part
later.
about the white fight, and I think it was the white trailer, was when Weiss was like bouncing around,
and it was like,
like they were like hitting
so
out.
So that's kind of the sad part. Is like the music is like okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think you guys are right, but like
it's almost like
I got manipulated is what I'm saying. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
No,
I've
got
been
what you're
manipulated.
Like
at first I was like, oh, that's sweet, and then I was like, wait, did I just get gaslit by Adam?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what I mean? And did I just get gaslit by Adam?
Probably.
So yeah, because I found that charming.
Can
that
we
he
talk
said
about?
That about
can
her,
I
and
love
then I
my favorite addition, and I think this is the one time where they do it better. Is that Blake has like the purple in her hair?
Yeah,
it's
really
gorgeous.
It creates a great
so
contrast, so she doesn't get like lost in the sauce of her outfit, right? The other thing is, so when I was doing the RWBY guessing with my mom, subtle plug. I mean, most of you have probably seen it. It has like 10,000 views, so you know, not to brag, but it did pretty well. Most of you have probably seen it. No, okay, so like I called Adam's horns ears by accident, and like people were on my ass about it, and then I'm like, but they look like ears. Don't they? Like, you know what I mean? Now they look like actual horns, but when they were just like in his hair, they were like lost in the sauce of the hair.
Yeah, because
like,
his hair was darker, so it just looked like he was a part of the spikes.
Now it looks actual horns, so I think that's great as well.
He looks more prominently horny.
Yeah, and so I like this. Like, try not to have too much fun. Like, they're back and forth. Like, so okay, so this is random.
Oh dear.
But in Shakespeare on Thursday, my teacher was saying that because in Shakespearean times you couldn't just have people, you know, doing the devil's tango on the stage, you know.
Is that what you call it?
Or whatever, right? Like, he said that in Shakespeare, even though people do have sex in Shakespeare, but they can't have sex on stage, right, obviously. Or you know, whatever. And so, what am I trying to say? He said that wit is the oral foreplay of like writing or like Shakespeare, like wit. And so like this sort of like
try not to get
try not to have too much.
It's like so
like this,
what
like,
you're saying.
Back and forth
if like a 16th century, 15th century peasant saw this, they'd be like, oh, they're fucking.
Yeah.
Like, he'd get it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not only that, but like wit is sexy. Like that sort of
Wit
banter back and forth is sexy.
Did Kate the horizontal monster mash?
Cal's new catchphrase is lost in the sauce. I picked that up from Arnold, so you know. But yeah. Where are we? I'm so lost. I just got lost. Yeah. Lost in the sauce. So yeah, Blake, beautiful, stunning.
You also, like, these screenshots are not going to do it justice.
Exactly. Like, there's no way to do this fight justice.
But, like, it's
even
so
though I do
aggressive.
have one, it's so good. And I love how they kept the weapon transformations. Go
And
on,
she
though,
shot
Hunter.
back and forth. It was very aggressive and strong and exciting, and I really dug it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
It focused
look at
more on
this.
Blake and not Adam.
She's
so
so beautiful.
mwah, my queen.
Exactly.
One thing I do miss is that they don't focus that much on Adam because you lose him being cool.
They do after, though.
They do after?
A little bit. Like, slightly, so.
And then here's the volume 5 trailer?
Ish, I think.
Ish?
Like, I think it's a modification. Maybe
Well, because at
also
the end, she fights a bunch of, like, of the whites of Winter's summons, and then after after she beats them, Winter more or less says this.
Winter looks so good, man. She just looks so good. They did such a good job with her. Oh my god. And so yeah, I just loved all of this. Like the powerless return to dust. So it's like humans from dust. So I like how it's like they incorporate that into sayings from Remnant. Like it's a nice little world building. Like mankind is born from dust, and then when you die, you return to dust. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really, really good. Volume 4? Volume 5? Anyway,
Volume 5.
yeah, sometime. I don't know.
It was volume 5. I definitely remember that.
I always thought it was dyed hair streaks too, exactly. So now they like did the horns and it's so much better, right?
Oh, she has
and,
a little bit of blood on her hair.
I love this. Like I just thought that this was so good. And like I love the ice and like all of the different like animations here. Again, obviously like we can't do the whole thing justice, but I just thought that like this was really great. I just picked some shots that I liked.
Also,
I also like Klein!
Klein almost dies.
Get out of there! Right, and so yeah, that's just something I was
No.
too, yeah. And so I just have some like fight shots that I liked and like, you know, all of that. I liked like the glyphs were just beautiful and they were really nice. I was like, I jokingly, somebody go get Keith. Somebody tag Keith on Twitter or like DM Keith on, oh God, what do you call it? DM Keith on Discord, screenshot this and say, so when are you gonna draw Obsidian in Weiss's glyphs like that? Because that's all I could think about when I saw this. I was like, somebody wants Weiss to do this to them. Somebody right now is drawing RWBY in Weiss's little glyphs or something.
I've read enough fan fiction to know that people have already thought of that.
Just somebody screenshot this and
this
send it
isn't
to
a
Keith
new idea.
And ask him about this because I'm sure that if he hasn't thought about it, I just did. Anyways.
People have often considered creative uses of.
So I'm just that's the only thing I thought about.
They've also had creative uses of Blake's semblance, but we won't get into there.
Oh man, and so yeah, this was good too. Like kind of the remake of the shot from the original trailer, I thought was really good. Oh, there's little glyphy things.
Yeah, like little,
on her sword. So I thought that was
like writing that appears on her blade,
like ancient text. I don't know. And so I just thought that was
and
great.
she blows a big hole through him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just for celebrating.
Keith
Weiss's
probably
face.
also wants Weiss to blow a hole through him, but
oh
don't
my
we
god,
all?
it's so like look at how proud he is.
He's so happy.
He's so happy. I thought that was so
my baby
good.
girl.
Right? And I love this. I love
I love how smug
she's
Winter
just like,
looks.
Father, you
promised. We're gonna go to Dairy Queen now.
Exactly. And so I love this too. And like, look, he looks happy though. Right? He's either happy for her to get out or like he's happy that she's leaving, but I don't know which one it is yet. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, I just loved like the scene with Klein and like I love how she's like in the darkness, but then she like embraces the light like she did it. I just really liked that. Like standing in the light, I thought that was good. Adam does get some showcase here a little bit. It still does focus on
but I feel like you don't see his moon slice. Which
you
is
don't.
kind of,
you don't see that, but he does
like,
fight. We have like little Gaston gun vibes going on. You know, I didn't screenshot all that because we don't really need it, but yeah.
We don't need to screenshot Adam.
I really liked this. I thought that this scene was interesting. I do think though we lost a little bit of like Blake's like she seemed to leave very suddenly in this one compared to again maybe when she was thinking about it, right? Because she's like and then she just fucks off and she's
also it's in here, whereas I think previously it was on the roof.
It was outside. This makes more sense though to me.
Yeah, it does.
So I think that this was good because she takes the passengers and he takes the dust, so it's kind of like a nice little metaphor.
And also like she's not even like that. Doesn't have that much animosity towards this. It's like keep the dust. I'm just not gonna let you kill them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that they did. Some people say that they have gone back on Adam being her boyfriend. I don't think that's true. I think that they're just striking a balance between like the white fang part, and then
Because
also
also
his
they
part.
were flirting with each other,
Yeah,
like try
I
not to make a
agree.
mess.
Exactly.
Like he's like smiling
I
at
don't
her,
know
like there was something there.
Because some people think that like they undid that. I don't know why people think that because they are still flirting. So I think they just
Look at how
striked
beautiful
a
my
better
girl is.
balance.
Has she always had that thing on her arm?
Yeah. I think so.
Is that new? Is that
Wait, what is that?
what is
That's
that?
a good question.
Oh, I guess it's her
it's
wrap.
the top of the shirt.
Okay.
Okay.
I have that's new.
Weird. I didn't notice
I like it. I like it. It's new.
But yeah, I don't know why some people think that Adam's like they fully retconned it. I don't know. I guess the Adam fans are happy that he's just not crazy yet.
Yeah.
They're happy to see Adam not being crazy today.
Also, you missed this, but all of the White Fang people, they were also Naruto running. So I like to imagine that Adam was the first person to Naruto one. And then to like suck up to the box, everyone else started doing it. It's like Regina George started culling out the nipples of her shirt, and now everyone has to Naruto
I do like
run.
this. I do like once she learns more about the world, she'll know. Like he's not.
Yeah.
I like this as a better reason for Adam's concern or lack of concern.
He thinks he knows better.
He thinks he knows better, and I think that's a better way.
Because it's like because that's what a shitty boyfriend will do sometimes. Sometimes they will be like, "Oh yeah, you'll come crawling back to me."
Exactly, right? And so I feel like that's very interesting. Like kind of twofold. Like maybe he genuinely thinks he's right, or like maybe it's his ego thinking he's right, right?
I mean, at that point, who even knows?
But let's talk about Veil. Beautiful, stunning, no choice but to stand. Like they did such a good job.
Urban
also,
environment.
This is Black Rock Shooter, and the reason why I know that is because Kiara's Tanashi Kiara's papa. Hugh, he's the one who made her, Kiara the VTuber in Hololive EN Myth. So that's why I recognize this.
I recognize her because they used her for the background to, I believe, Just Dance Rock version Nightcore. So I like to imagine that right now, what Ruby's watching is a Nightcore YouTube video that people are throwing up on screens because people in Vale have culture.
Damn. It's the culture. Maybe she's a VTuber or something. You know what I mean?
Who in RWBY would be a VTuber? I feel like Nora would. I feel like John would be a big VTuber fan.
That's not Hatsune Miku.
I feel like Whitley would.
Let me think.
May's
I'll
trans,
think about this.
so May definitely has one on the
I'll
side.
get back to you. I think they should make it. Okay, so here's my idea. We're getting so off topic. We've already diverted. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're trying to keep it at an hour per episode, so we're doing well. So I'll deviate for a second. So here's my idea for Rooster Teeth. Okay, if Rooster Teeth is watching this, you can take it, okay? And I know that they're there. They're out there somewhere. They pretend like they hate me, but I know that they love me, okay?
I don't think they pretend like they hate you.
I'm just kidding. So here's the thing, okay? You have a team of 4 at Beacon Academy, okay? Maybe this is like in Team Coffee's grade, so like Team RWBY hasn't quite arrived yet, okay? And they need money, because living at school, it's fucking expensive. So what do? They decide to form like a little club, and they become 4 idol VTubers, and they stream in Remnant, okay? And they are officially the Beacon Academy VTuber group, and they are starting to make a lot of money. So much money that Ospen's like, okay, listen, if you're gonna use Beacon Academy's name, can we at least go, something, okay? We have bills to pay too. And so then all the others...
The amount of shit that Ozpin has let slide, mild copyright infringement, he allowed terrorists to go into his school. He's gonna be okay. He's not gonna like go on YouTube and be like, no, I'm copyrighting all your shit, motherfucker. No, he's just not that guy.
You understand what I mean? Like, he'd probably be like, this is great for you guys, but
I feel like Ozpin would have one. Ozpin would have a secret.
Okay, so with this in mind, so Rooster Teeth should make them characters in the RWBY universe and have them stream on YouTube and Twitch or whatever as VTubers. So they are RWBY characters that have semblances and actual designs, right? But then they stream and they do like VTuber activities, like play games and stuff. And occasionally they'll do like an interview with RWBY and like an interview with Yang and stuff, like on their YouTube channel, like as a VTuber. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't it be real? You know how like VTubers will have like, this is what Gargura actually looks like. What if it's that, but it's just an animated photo?
It's just like
of who they actually are, but it's a RWBY character.
Yeah, like, oh my god, that's
And it's so meta.
The inception. And so then, okay, all the other schools start to get a little jealous because they're like, what's Beacon doing over there? So Mistral, because Mistral is the kingdom of art and culture, they're like, well, we need one because they have one. So then Rooster Teeth can debut more generations of VTubers because they can have one for each school. So the first gen, like Hololive Myth, is like Beacon, like, Rooster, the Beacon gen, okay? Then the second one is Mistral, and then Atlas is like, they have to do it under the table because I don't think Ironwood would technically allow that, but they do it under the table, okay?
Ironwood would definitely want a piece of the pie.
Then we have one for Vacuo, then we have one for Menagerie, and then, right, when all the generations have debuted, you can have a festival like the Vital Festival, and that can be like the concert where all the girls singing stuff. And,
you know how, like, you talked about when you showed me the VTubers, you're like, yeah, they start out with this way, but eventually they'll just whatever. At some point, they're gonna start making memes and referencing real, and like, so it's gonna be like weird.
It's kind of like how the miraculous Ladybug Instagram account started to acknowledge COVID. It may be a little bit like that, but you know what? It's okay.
That's fine.
So yeah. Anyway, so the VTuber group, call me Rooster Teeth. I'm here for you. Sometimes when you don't make me angry. But anyways, so yeah, let's talk about these shots of RWBY.
I
love the pink gun in the back.
That's
it was
cute.
great.
I love all the different swords. I feel like they would put a reference here.
There's probably a reference here, but
I can't
we
notice
just don't
it.
know. So.
I love how she picks the biggest fucking axe.
And so it is a shame that they did not do Yang fighting the Malachite twins, because I feel like they could have done it this way. We're like, we're going out on the town. It's our last night, before we're going to whatever, before I'm going to school, RWBY, let's have a day out in town. So they could have framed it that way, and then had RWBY sneak away to get the present.
This is also like a condensed episode,
right.
So they weren't gonna...
There was a way I could see that they may have done it.
Yeah.
But like...
It's not gonna do it like that.
So anyway.
I'll only cry a little bit.
Yeah, and so rip the Malachite twins. Sad.
Also, the traffic sign is a horse.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like,
I just noticed that. Is that why there's seemingly no, cars in RWBY?
No, I mean, there's cars, though, on the highway.
Except for that one scene.
Right, in the one highway.
All street traffic is just walking and horses. So
that's a little unfortunate, because I could see an avenue for them doing it that way, but, I also understand, I like Ty and, the conversation and stuff. The dust shop was just so, fleshed out. It was great. This was really good.
It's and you have little jars, and you can buy magazines.
And, the finest of them all.
Yeah, that was in the original as well,
yeah. And I love that. That was really good. And so, Vale's so advanced because, I have to order it off Amazon, and it doesn't get to the island, for a week from now and stuff. So I just love that. Yeah. And I love Yang, gushing over her acceptance. They really did make Yang an actual character now. You guys have know that me and Yang recently have had a tumultuous relationship, me and Yang, So, I love this Yang. I simp for this Yang. I don't simp for Volume 8 Yang, but, for this Yang, I definitely
where they're also
like
making
Yang.
a conscious effort of keeping her in more.
Right. And so I think that this is great. I think that they did such a good job with this. I also wonder if they made this Y merch because they knew that Y was,
also, can we talk about how Taya... I feel like this is the biggest... This is the biggest confirmation that him and Crow slept.
Usually men, and some men, right? Okay.
Because he's that man is not straight.
Usually straight men sit like.
And he has one hand back here. No, that man's not straight.
My feet can't touch the floor, so I can't do it properly. But have you guys ever seen guys and they're on public transit and they're they're kind of sitting like this? This is how I imagine yeah. So
that's
I don't know, Ty.
That's
I don't know, Ty. I'm just saying.
Ty is just a little fruity,
A little fruity. Ty. I mean, it could also be a Japanese thing,
he also has his shirt buckled all the way down.
What do you mean?
I'm saying,
buttoned all the way up?
No, sorry, he's has the top couple buttons out.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He's older, but he's still in great shape.
Anyway, I'm just
saying.
Oh, Ty.
He's not gay, but I don't think he's straight either. He's a bi king.
He's a bottom.
A bi-con, and we support him. Oh, he's absolutely a bottom. I don't...
Okay. So, I'm dying. And so I just like this. I like how Ty actually looks old now.
Yeah.
Again, we kind of mentioned this before.
Dilfy.
I thought that this was cute. Like, I thought that this was good too, because now we actually
his facial
get,
hair looks better.
You know, Ty worrying about, like, his family and his little girls, like, leaving the nest and
baby.
stuff. Let's show them the screenshot with the dog very quickly.
I like how they kept Zwei in multiple times, because, like, they knew Zwei would be...
And see, now they have a prominence on, like, his, you know, Ruby's independence, right? And so I feel like that now it makes a lot more sense why she just, like, abandoned, like, her sister, you know, when they got to the school, right? And I love this, too, because this seems to be dust-powered, and so I just thought that was, like, world building. Okay, everyone.
So, and there, your husband... oh, my God, look at him. Look at our old man.
Shopkeep looks so good, too.
Shopkeep looks so expressive.
So well. All right, guys. We're finally back, bitch! Oh, my God. When I tell you, like I said, the reaction is up on Patreon. If you haven't seen it, go look at it.
The yelling.
The
clutching of my arm.
He never looked this sexy. He only ever looked this sexy in art. But look at him. Look at him and his little cigar. Look at him. And he's like, I'm like, what? You're going to tell me that you're not in love with Roman Tortwick? How can you not? You're gonna tell me? No, right? And so yeah, like definitely, like listen, he looks so, they made him so sexy. They didn't need to do this, but he is, and I can't wait to see who voices him in English because we still have no idea about that whatsoever. So like, when we see the English and hear Roman's, I'm guessing Roman's new voice actor or whatever, like.
You're gonna swoon?
Like, who is it gonna be? We don't know. Imagine if it's, like, Legoshi's voice actor or something.
Well,
like,
that's who you want for Fox.
Yeah, I did want him for Fox, but, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, oh, my God. Anyway, so, yeah, Roman. I don't know if we're gonna see Neo, and I'm kind of sad about it, but we will get there, eventually. We will get there, but I'm just like, look at him. Roman's alive. He's alive. And I just want to see fan art of him and Neo so bad, but there's no Neo and Roman fan art on the internet.
It's weird to watch, like, RWBY and the background, RWBY Volume 1, the background characters aren't just, like, silhouettes.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And so, yeah, this is just, like, the dust thievery.
Yeah, this is, like, one for one, a pretty solid, although they changed one thing, which I find very funny, and we'll see in a minute.
Yeah, and I liked this. Like, I liked, like, the robbing
What is it?
Scene.
Put your hands up. Are you robbing me?
I like, look at this. I like how Roman's
just enjoying himself, smoking a cigarette. And also in the original, RWBY shoots him out the window.
Yeah, and then now she goes through the
and then now she just commits, like, property damage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's probably to help why Glinda's so mad at her, right?
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, like, I love this. He's like a semblance, like a Beacon Academy student. I'm like, those aren't the only people with semblances, Roman, but I guess they're trying to establish she's, like, more trained than, like, I don't know, Jean. But, like, look at him. Anyway, so yeah, guys, I'm telling you, I'm desperate, okay? I'm so desperate.
You have a boyfriend.
I'm so desperate. It's not even funny.
No, Kayla, no, we're not going past this. How does Arnold feel about your feelings towards Roman and Fox?
I'm gonna go with bad.
Is there ever a time where he's like, I'm a real person right here.
Probably.
I love you. I've done so much for you. I've traveled international for you. I've met your family. And you do not simp over me. Does he ever get hurt?
Probably.
Okay. Well, my partner feels the same way about Lady Dimitrescu, but they just accept it and move on.
But I loved it. I love the weapon transformation. I thought
like
this
her
was
spinning
great.
was dope.
Yeah,
it was
like
just
this scene was good too. I like Roman. He's just standing there. He doesn't even try.
And
like,
something I noticed in the first episode.
He's still in the window, whereas the rest of them went outside.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's into watch. He's into spectate. What I did notice about the first episode more than the second and third, and this is common in a lot of anime, is that they put the really cool animation in the first episode.
Yeah.
So like Blake and Weiss, there was a lot of frames.
Right.
And like a lot of intricate animation. And this fight scene, it is insane how intricate. But then later on in some of the smaller fight scenes when they're in the Emerald Forest.
Well, they may have just also been like trying to skip past has to. But yeah, I have a collection of like little.
What I'm trying to
shots.
say is that they like this scene kicks ass.
I love this
and it's
too,
so
the facial
fast
expression.
and it's so detailed.
But yeah, like
great.
just some fight screenshots that I liked, and I love this. I love.
You're worth every
Look
cent,
at him,
truly.
like yeah, he's great, and I like how he gets away, like in his little thing. I like how Ruby's hair actually flattens from this, because like this probably wouldn't happen in regular Ruby, just because of the limitation of the 3D model and stuff. And so yeah, like I love Roman's little grappling hook. He's just going all the way up the building, and I'm just like, oh, this is great. And like the shock on his face, he just looks so good, guys. I don't care if we get a strike for this. He looks so good. Just kidding. But like he looks so good, and I like how she's like, you thief. Like that's the worst thing she can think to call him, right? And I love too, like his little cat face that he has right now. Look at his little, he's so smug in his little cat face, and then he just blows her up. You know what I mean?
I feel like you've really gone back and looked at every individual image of. I took before I did the screenshots for this. I did all of the screenshots of Roman that I could remember, and then I put them in the Google Drive, and it's just called Roman because I have to download them to my phone. And you use them for purely Christian purposes.
And so yeah, I love that. I love how they're helping the bad guys. Like what? Like you know what I mean? Or they're trying to see if the bad guys are okay, but the police are there, so I guess it's fine. Right? And I love like the dog helping to like look for.
Like go back for one. Like look at how in command Zwei is.
I know.
Zwei's like, I'll figure this out.
Yeah, exactly.
Zwei think, you know what I want? I want a RWBY spinoff where it's just Tai Yang and Zwei solving mysteries.
Crime and stuff.
It could be like Murder, She Wrote, but on patch.
Oh my god, I love the circle. Yeah. That was good. Again, what else do we have
now
to say?
I get to simp quiet because then, my queen, she's returned to us. She looks gorgeous.
Glinda's thick.
Absolutely,
like Glinda's a lot thick.
Absolutely,
like Glinda's very thick compared to usual.
You could bounce a quarter off of her.
She looks great.
And like the glasses and how intense she looks, and the mwah. I don't get to voice her, and I accept. Oh, my queen, my other queen.
Oh yeah, so Cinder fans are so mad right now. They're like, they hate Cinder so dirty because she didn't get out to fight this time.
Because in this one, Roman just throws a thing
grenade.
A thing of dust. I think it was even.
Yeah,
or whatever
or a
the
smoke
case.
bomb or whatever.
But in the original, she came out and she was glowing and she was in the dark and she was spooky.
They did her so dirty. They did her so dirty. It's so funny though. I thought it was funny because somebody else on Twitter redid this where they had Neo driving the airship. And I'm
saw that.
As it was. But like, okay, so Hunter and I, let's see if we're almost at the end and it's been an hour, so we're making good time. So I have a theory, okay?
Oh dear.
Because the whole reason why Neo is not in Volume 1 is because she did not exist. She was like Monty's fever, like, 3 a.m. like dream of
what happened is that they almost got Sarah Silverman to voice a character, but they needed a new female character for Sarah Silverman to voice. So they made Neo, but then Sarah Silverman dropped out. Yeah, and they also made
Neo because of a female gender-bent Roman cosplay, I guess, right? Yeah. So it was there was a bunch, you know what I mean? And so, like, Neo didn't exist. But Neo not being here, canonly, doesn't make a lot of sense when you consider how clingy her and Roman are to each other in Roman Holiday. So either that changes, or we have a couple of ideas. Here's my idea, personally. I think that because Roman was, like, working with the White Fang and, like, with Cinder and stuff, right, that maybe he didn't want to tell Neo because he didn't want Neo to be around, those as
I
Roman
feel like
says,
Neo
those dirty
would figure
animals,
it out
you know what I mean?
well.
But she eventually does, and that's why we see her, right? And so I kind of have this idea that, like, Roman is just so racist that he won't even let Neo be around the White Fang.
You're simping for a racist?
I'm not simping!
What would Arnold say?
I'm just saying that may have been his motivation. It's like, Neo is too good for this job.
You think you know someone.
Neo is too good for the job.
And they say, they simp over a racist. I mean, he is a little racist.
Roman thinks that Neo's too good for the job, is I think maybe.
I like to imagine that Neo was going to do this job, but she caught a stomach flu.
That is what I wrote
off of like a bad oyster.
However,
because it was her birthday and she wanted to go out for Roman wanted to go out for seafood and Neo was like, I don't like seafood. It was like, no, you'll love it.
If we put
That always
Roman's
scared me.
racism aside for a minute, Dan had an idea
Oh,
that did not...
now we're just putting racism aside, Kaylee. Do you listen to yourself?
Dan had an idea that does not involve Roman being racist. Which is that Cinder is testing Roman to see if he can actually hold his own without Neo around. And he agreed to this. Which I do like better than the racism. But anyway, yeah, I think but Roman is still racist. Even without my racism headcanon, he still is racist.
I mean, he did call Faunus animals.
Yeah, he's still not very nice, so, you know. It still happens.
He is, a violent criminal. They tend not to be upstanding human beings.
Basically what I'm saying is I kind of like that idea that Cinder's testing him. Because it's like, oh, well, do you need your girlfriend to do everything for you, or are you actually capable on your own, right? So I feel like that was interesting, that maybe that could be it. And, like, Roman, I don't know, did he fail? Did he succeed? We don't know.
I can't believe you would say these things during Faunus History Month.
Oh, God.
That's that also happens to be Pride Month, because there's not a Faunus that is heterosexual.
Rika makes a good point about Cinder, because we don't need her to show her maiden powers, because she's going to be irrelevant soon. I don't think we're going to see Cinder again after this to be... We'll talk about that later, because I think there's two ways that things can go. But anyway. And so I like Dan's idea as well, like, you know, that he's being tested. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, yeah, she has to, like, you know, this is Cinder to Roman, like, yeah, your little girlfriend has to stay home. I need to see if you're actually capable and competent without her, because she doesn't think that he is. Also, random prediction, next week at RTX, they are going to announce Roman Holiday 2, where they will explain what Roman and Neo did in Vale, how, like, they met Cinder more in detail, what they were all doing to prepare for, like, this day, and then also, like, the Malachites and how the Malachites and Junior started, like, working together and stuff. Just a little prediction, but I think that next week at RTX, or this week, I should say, I think even though E.C. Myers is not there, I could see there being Roman Holiday 2 announced. Just saying. Especially, too, because, like, this is gonna be... Like, it probably wouldn't release before Neo, because I think that would be too short notice. Actually, no, but I think that when Roman Holiday was, like, accidentally leaked on Amazon, it came out, like, 3 months later. So, like, maybe it could be a drop like that, because, like, we got one Neo book, and now, like, we're getting, like, what do you call? Like, we got a Neo book before Neo Island, and it's still, like, it's taken so much time that, like, we're still before Neo Island. So maybe, I don't know, Roman Holiday Part 2.
And who knows, maybe you get a little more romance between
Maybe,
Roman
yeah,
and
little romance, okay? Can we get the fandom shipping Roman and Neo again, please? But yeah, I don't know, but, like, I swear on Twitter, too, that, like, E.C. Myers sent Eddie something to read. It could have been unrelated, but, like, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, so I just love Roman's little face right there. But yeah, random prediction, sequel to Roman Holiday is going to be announced at RTX next week.
Oh, look at how she's fangirling.
Yeah, exactly. Another Roman Holiday right before Volume 9. It makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Sure.
I'm amazing.
That's fair.
Anyway, so I love this. Like, Ruby's, like, so excited. She's like, wow, you're Glinda Goodwitch. I've seen you on TV, right?
God.
Like, you know.
Whenever a woman looks at me with disdain, I'm like,
And then it's the police station, and I love that. I love this so much. Like, and it makes sense now, because I was like, where are they? Right? Like, when this happened in Volume 1, I was like, where did she take her to? But now I see they're actually in a police station.
Also, can we go back one more? You're right, she is incredibly...
That's what I'm saying! Look at her ass! That's what I'm saying, man!
Like, that's...
Yeah, and then
she has the riding crop, and she's angry, and it's like, my God.
And then we actually see the police force, and they have, like, a uniform. Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
And they have a uniform and stuff. Like, I thought that this was nice, and I love this now, because, like, Osmond sees Ty, knows that Ruby's Ty's daughter. Like, it's all coming together, you know?
They're both hot.
Yeah.
Glinda was always hot, but they're more hot now.
Some people think Osmond is ugly, and I'm here to tell you
that
your taste is horrible. Okay?
You can no!
They said he's lost his boyish charm or whatever, which
what boyish fucking charm did you...
Maybe.
Just because you can't handle a man is not Osmond's fault.
I think Osmond looks great.
The nerve of some people. The fucking audacity to say
awesome.
That this broad-shouldered academic hunk Took me a second there. I'm sorry, my brain is short. Between
So see,
it
like,
went
look,
from Glinda to him, and my
like, you
brain
know, like,
doesn't work
oh,
anymore.
this is your daughter. This makes so much sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's great, right?
Oh
like,
God, and
like,
he's tall. He's taller than Diane.
Exactly, and so I just thought that's good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Ty, this is your daughter? Like, it makes sense now, maybe, why she gets into the school, in a way. You know?
You had a kid? I always thought he was gay.
Right, and so I think he's great. And so I just love that. I love the scene with Glinda. I will say, though, it was kind of weird for Ozpin to bring in the cookies because I don't think that she eats any of them. And so, like, they brought in the cookies because it was the joke, but they didn't actually do the joke.
That's
so
one thing I've
weird.
noticed is that they cut some of the humor moments.
Yeah.
Which I do kind of miss.
And so, like, I just thought it was weird because he brings her the plate of cookies, but then nothing happens.
And also, he's the only one with a drink, so it's like, yeah, bitch, eat your dry cookies. That's a power move.
And so, I don't know.
That's what they do when you're being interrogated.
You know, one of those subtle amiss things. Like, it would have been nice for her to eat one, even if they got rid of the joke, because why are you bringing them in there? You know what I mean? Why are you bringing in the cookies if you're not gonna... It's just like a leftover, I guess, from, like, the original that they didn't really like, you know? So, yeah. But I did think this was great. I love seeing, like, Yang, like, so happy. And they're so also, like, I know that we've changed the opacity a little bit, but they're so vibrant, and it's great because, like, recent
colorful
volumes of RWBY, I know that the lighting has, like, you know, it's dark. It's, but, like, the saturation is not necessarily connected to the lighting. Things have gotten way desaturated in the recent years, I think. Like, too much so. And so I feel like that now everyone just looks better. Like, I don't know. They should just, like, slap a whole saturation filter onto the show. Like, you know what I mean? Why not? Just put a whole saturation filter on. I don't know. And so, yeah, that's just what I'm saying. But, yeah, I love this, too. And now we get Team Stark drop, so I thought that was great, like, for them to be having this conversation right now.
I like how one person reminds you of an entire team.
Well, yeah, I mean, then maybe her and Yang, right? Like, both of them, like, the Team Stark, like, potential. And I love this, like, the children have to leave the nest, and he looks so hot.
She has a scythe like her uncle. She's gay like her dad. She's a little despondent.
If he didn't have the cookies, people would be
like
madder, but, like, get her to eat one.
Raven.
I don't know, but yeah.
And she looks like her mama. That's Team Stark.
Yeah, I guess. And, yeah, they don't mention Crow, but I'm assuming that's because Crow's not showing up.
Probably.
So it's kind of probably like that Cinder thing, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean, like the...
Which is a shame, because you can imagine how dilthy he'd look.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there'll be a season 2 of this, because just because they defeat Weiss doesn't mean, like, what if it's like...
Or they just go on as normal?
Like,
they do the rest of...
No, not as normal, but like RWBY, like, fully caffeinated, and it's just like Coco's nightmare, like, you know what I mean? Like, they could do, like, other characters in the nightmare sequence. I don't think that there's a way that could get old, because it's just limitless creativity.
I also worry that, like, it would run into a manga problem where they'd run out of, like, RWBY source material.
But does that matter if they're all in the Nightmare World? I think the Nightmare World will be original plot, right?
Oh, in the Nightmare World. I mean, I thought you meant that after they finished the Nightmare World, they will continue as normal for the plot of RWBY.
Like, I meant, this is the season about Weiss. But what if, like, next season they did, like, you know, RWBY, like overactive imagination, and it's just Neo gets the virus. Like, they could do AUs where all of them get the virus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could do a lot. I don't know, but
Cinder getting the virus?
Like Cinder getting the virus. Like, that's basically what I mean. Also, like, Blake is just sleeping in an abandoned barn while she waits for her test results. And she, like,
Spider-Mans her way between
I know, I thought
trees.
that was great. And, like, just to see how happy she is getting in. I also think it's good that we kind of see Blake, like, she's, like, I don't know what you call this. Like, she's not trespassing. She's, like, sleeping.
Squatting.
She's squatting, yeah. Like, she's just squatting in the barn.
I mean, she's probably done that a lot. Oh,
I thought that this was good, and I just thought that was so sweet.
Happy. Because before, you don't get the impression that she's really excited for it. She's just kind of nervous and looking for some... Where this way, you get the impression, like, no, she really wants to do this. I don't think we'll be done with the real world during the nightmare stuff. Dan, you're giving me too much hope right now. I think that I don't know. I have no hope. I'm just like, guys, I need to accept that we're not going to see Neo because they're going into the nightmare, and Weiss doesn't know Neo, so there's no reason why she would be there. You know what I mean? But yeah, this dialogue was kind of sad, like that Winter's too busy. She doesn't even mention her mom.
You know what I mean? Like, she's like, they couldn't be bothered. Winter's busy. She doesn't even mention Willow, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I love this. I just love, like, the little scene that she has with Klein, and it's very sweet. And he mentions, like, Nicholas, so we get that, like, Nicholas Schnee. This is probably going to be important for the nightmare, right? So yeah, I think that, like, that will be good, like, for the nightmare sequence, like, Nicholas relevancy, I guess. I don't know. And so I thought that that was good, and I like Weiss's little face, and I like how, like, we come back where we started, right? Like, now, like, RWBY started at the grave, and that's where
You know what always, like, confused me about the Summer Rose's grave?
Yeah.
Is that she was based off of the poem, Last Rose of Summer.
Yeah.
And that's where Thus Kindly I Scatter comes from.
Yeah.
And it's about a woman who's very old and all of her friends has passed away. And so she's the last rose of summer.
Yeah.
Summer Rose is the exact opposite of that. All of her friends are still alive. She's dead.
Maybe it's the other Silver-Eyed Warriors.
Maybe.
And she's the one alive
I just think
because she's
like,
in the Hound or something.
I just think
you know
it's
what I mean? Like all the other Silver-Eyed Warriors.
I know.
It's
not like a continuity error, but it is like a kind of twist.
Yeah, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a twist.
Oh God, maybe.
I love this like steampunk airport.
I love how we get to see more of like the geography.
Because like Vale was basically just Unity store assets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like it was basically just like assets.
Now we get to see more cool stuff in that kind of
like how it would actually look.
Yeah, architecture.
If they had budget, you know what I mean? And so I like this. I like the scene with Blake arriving and she looks at her reflection.
And she's happy.
And Weiss does the same thing. Like I thought that was good.
Yeah, they're just getting away from a bad situation. They're happy for who they're coming. And
I really liked this scene too. And like Ty's like, but don't change too much, you know? Like maybe he's saying that because like Raven changed so much and abandoned the team and like those sorts of things, right? Like
don't end up like your mother.
Over time and stuff, right?
Either of them.
So yeah.
No despondence, no death.
Yeah. And so I like this. And I like Ty, like, kind of like, you know, he's like seeing them off, but he looks very grim.
I know he's looking and he's blocking
out the sun. It looks like he's saluting.
He looks like he's saluting.
And I think that's nice too. Like, I think that's a nice little double thing,
also,
right?
you don't salute like that. I think you salute like that.
But you know what I mean. It's nice. It's a nice little
baby.
Double. Foreshadowing.
Brilliant lights even flicker and die in the show.
Yeah, like they showed Pyrrha. I think that was more for us than like the Japanese audience that's going to be watching this for the first time.
I'm sure there are people who are watching this who have not seen another RWBY show.
Yeah, but I'm saying Pyrrha's not going to die in this, is she?
And
what if she dies in the dream world?
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Oh my God, so maybe she would. Maybe she would die in the dream world instead, and that's like what the foreshadowing's for. But I like all the little cuts that they made right here. You know what I mean? Like I like all the little like the little frames. I like the little windows.
It feels like the opening of an anime where it's just like, everything's gonna be okay.
And so that is the end of episode 1.
J-pop song.
And we've done it in an hour and 8 minutes. So we are making good time. Let me see. Okay, we have to change to the next folder. But yeah, episode 1 was great.
It was really solid.
All the additions they made.
I love how they condensed everything together. They did a very good job of it.
I agree. And I also like the changes that they made were good. They deleted RWBY and John's friendship. Well, they needed to focus on John and his team, I think, for that scene. So, rip their friendship.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Bye.
But they also make John nicer.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's less clingy and weird.
Yeah, I do think he's nicer and less weird.
And like he makes it understand, like he's not just being a clingy weirdo who wants someone who's way not into her. Like it was just a misunderstanding. So I feel like it makes
John a lot better.
John more likable.
Exactly, and more likable and stuff. What else was I had something else to say. Oh, I like the additions with Tai Yang and just like all the stuff that they added. I feel like it just makes like Willow feel less like an afterthought and everything like that. Like I feel like that all of the things they added are like Tai Yang, less of an afterthought and stuff. But yeah, I don't mind them cutting out the Jean scene just because it seems like his friendship with Pyrrha and his team took prominence just because, like, they go into the nightmare and stuff. Maybe it would have been nice for RWBY to do it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have time for the Card and Bully arc. It's Weiss Queendom. It's not John Kingdom.
Also, they had John Kingdom.
It's not John.
Oh my God, the incelly RWBY fans that would love John's Kingdom.
Your tiara is cute. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So, yeah, I just love that this is like a news report, too. That, like, people care, you know, because people should care.
It's like a big deal. It's like an NBA draft.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And, like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
and like everyone's watching the Vinyl Festival, and then nobody recognizes Team RWBY in public ever again, and that bothers me so much. So I'm glad that they're like, world building is better here than in RWBY proper sometimes. And so I thought that this was good, like just, you know, this scene of like the analysis, and I loved
my little baby.
I love this. I love like Nora's like the bus is flying, like she's so like redneck, I guess, like
Yeah, she's like a country gal.
Yeah, exactly.
Been to the big city for the first time.
Out of all the people, Carden still got in here. I know it makes me so mad, and we didn't even see Velvet. So yeah, that made me angry.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about that in the third episode because like we have to talk about where we think things are going next, and I have like two avenues. One is they do some of Volume 2, and I'm gonna explain.
They're just
And I love Jean, like casual
Vomit
Jean
boy.
in the background, right? And then she sees Pyrrha
And
like looks at Pyrrha's head.
I don't think she quite looks at
She's
you.
like ogling
pretty.
Pyrrha a little bit, but
It's
she's
a little
beautiful.
fruity.
She's pretty. She's like, look at her. She's amazing. She's beautiful. We love her, right? So I just like that scene a lot. And I like the friendship scene because now, like, we actually have like understandable reasons why Yang is sort of like letting go. Also,
Yeah,
just,
it's not just like
that
friends that you'll never see again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh no, like something my dad.
We sort of
taught me
missed the
about.
normal girl with normal knees, but that may not have translated
I just want to
well.
be like that
You know,
would really
that probably
confuse some
wouldn't
like
be-
Japanese
Viewers,
audiences.
yeah, so I understand why maybe they cut that part.
What
but
does it mean? Do Americans have abnormal knees? I don't understand it. Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was like, you know, I think that was a good idea that maybe they cut that out. I think that the pacing was actually like pretty good. Like I think that they were able to keep a lot of this, because you guys have to remember, Ice Queendom and RWBY Volume 1 is like the same amount of time. So I'm not sure why people feel like that this is rushed, because they took out stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they took out the stuff, but it still took them the same amount of time as Volume 1 took. So clearly they slowed some stuff down. I know that they added the nightmare part. But
I mean,
like,
I feel like they put detail.
yeah.
It's almost like.
And they trimmed the fat with the sleepover. Like, we didn't need that.
It's like they saw the first go of it, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, let's figure out where to trim
Because it totally
now.
makes sense for them to talk on the airship and just go to initiation. Why are we having a sleepover, you know? And so
Yeah.
I just like this scene with, like, Yang remembering what Tai said, and, like, that's why she sort of, you know, she doesn't ditch her this time, like in the other season, but we see where maybe she's trying to, like, make RWBY more independent.
Also, there's just
I
a
love
grown-ass
this face.
man.
Yeah, so
and-
here's the thing. I'm assuming that these are either teachers, or that this isn't necessarily, like, a beacon bus, but it's like a Veil bus. You know what I mean? Like it's a Veil airship, right? Yeah. Or like, you know, mature students, right? Like why not?
Wouldn't
like,
that be kind of weird to be a mature student in like
probably, but like, you know,
military?
it's college, right? And so yeah, I don't know, like
That
I'm just
motherfucker's
saying.
not college. That motherfucker's in his.
I know.
late
So I'm just saying
40s,
that like maybe they do get older students.
Dan says puberty hit them like a truck.
No.
Yeah, that guy's actually
Maybe
only
it's-
17
Maybe
years old.
it's teachers.
He just chain smokes cigarettes and never
But like
moisturizes.
with Blake, for example, it's really just a coincidence that she's the same age as all the other girls. What if she chose to leave the White Fang at 25? Like, you're not gonna let her in? Like, you know what I mean?
probably
So I
okay.
think that, like, it definitely makes sense. And so I just like this scene with, like, the introduction with Blake, and I like the sort of, like, no-nonsense, like, look that she has on her face. And I love, like, Yang's attempt, and you can just see, like, her face is just slowly, like, 1, 2, 3. Like, I like all the little faces that she makes,
she's
even
so
though they're
cute.
very, like, simplified.
But even if they are simplified,
like
they
that.
make them cute.
I
And
know,
like
they
that's
are
it gets
cute.
off personality, and I think it's like a Full Metal Alchemist. The
Yeah.
way they animate them.
And so I just love, like, Blake is stunning. Like, she's so pretty, it's ridiculous how beautiful she is. It's so nice. Like, I just love her so much. And you can actually see that they just copied and pasted Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in here. Come on, bring your hat and take a good walk with us. Thank you very much for your kindness, said the other party in a sighing voice. I want to do that in the mountains. No, don't do that. Don't threat. You've got a lot. I'm very happy. I want you
But
to
also,
go up,
like,
you know, or whatever.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is public domain,
Yeah,
so they could do that and not face any
So I
consequences.
thought that was good. And so, it makes sense that Blake gets a harem. Exactly. I have a bad feeling because the episodes feel rushed, and I'm scared since they skipped out on some stuff. But now it's like, we're getting to the good part.
Yeah.
They're going to do the nightmare part, and that's the only
Which
thing
is
that
like
they
a
have to
newer
worry
plot.
about. So I think that it'll be okay. Like, you know what I mean? I think we'll be good. I don't think it was rushed, personally. Because, like, this isn't a one-to-one remake. If it was supposed to be a one-to-one remake, I would be worried. But because they're going into the nightmare, I think that we're gonna be okay, you know? And so, yeah, I just really liked the conversation with Blake and, like, how Blake is, like, sort of affected by her. Like, her genuineness and, like, her want
honesty,
to make the world a better place. And, like, look at her. She's, like, warming up to her. I thought that was just really, really sweet. And then, you know, the racism happened.
Then the racism, which I guess you're fine with if we're dating Roman. Tisk.
Oh, boy. Roman's a criminal hunter. There are worse things that he's done.
I'll ignore petty theft.
But yeah, like, I think what's interesting about this is that, like, Yang, and this is something I'll say about episode 3 as well, she has so much, like, she has much stronger characterization than she did, like, in the original show, I think. Like, I think they finally figured out who Yang was because, like, she's woke now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, later she just straight up calls Weiss a bigot, and I'm like,
well, I mean,
off,
I feel like
she didn't do that before.
But
she said that's not necessarily true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now she's, like, woke.
Well, I feel like it's a better characterization because Yang always cared about people and was always a little brash.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's more likely to be like this and just tell someone that they're
Team anarchist.
like a bigot,
like, you know,
than they were to be like, well, that's not
so
totally
I feel like
true.
that they figured it out. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like it would be RWBY that would be like, well, that's not because she wants to, like, she doesn't want to be as imposing.
Yeah.
Whereas Yang would punch a Nazi.
Exactly. So I feel like that, like, I feel like that they made Yang stronger and they did a good job. I also like Blake being like, nothing to see here. Like, do not perceive me, please. Right? And so I just thought that this was good. And then we have, you know, Weiss being a little, as she is, right? But I like Blake,
a little as she is.
Yeah, a little as she is. And I like Blake, like, interjecting, and I like sort of the cut they did. I like how it wasn't straight on either. It was like, she's straight on, but then Blake's, like, at the side, you know? But yeah, I think that this was also more organic, 100%. I think this was much better than them having an arbitrary sleepover at the school for absolutely no reason.
Because they didn't get their beds assigned yet.
If you failed, you'd have to go home. Like, you know what I mean? You're staying overnight, but then what if you failed the initiation? Then you would have stayed overnight for nothing. You just go home. At least now they do the initiation and get to go home. But you know what I mean? You go
I like
to
how
Beacon,
that's what you're bothered with.
You go to Beacon all the way there and stay 2 days. You could take 2 days off work, okay? They're letting you get off your shift at Tuxin's bookstore for 2 days to take this test. No, like, this makes a lot more sense that they're on the ship, then they take the test, and then they get to stay if they're supposed to, you know? So yeah. So I just really like, and I like Yang trying to, like, you know, I need to help RWBY make friends. Like, let's try this again. Like, I just really like that scene and everything. And I like this of, like, RWBY's trying to, like, be happy.
RWBY.
You know, and so I just like that. And see, this is where the confusion comes from. Because John actually, like, hears this in a way where he takes it in a little bit more, I think, compared to the first time. He
internalizes it.
Right, and so I think that now, like, Jean's less creepy, and more like he genuinely thinks that, like,
but, like,
you know,
also, I feel like her being, like, Vomit Boy would have, like, communicated the point.
Right,
also,
but she doesn't say that here.
That's true. Also, the issue is that John is fucking cute.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
John's also
Look
cute.
at how cute he is.
Right?
I want to give him a little
So, yeah,
smooch on
and
the
so I
forehead.
thought that was cute, too. And so I just thought that was really good. Like, I really liked that scene.
And it makes John a more likable, less pushy character.
Exactly, because he thinks that Weiss actually likes him.
It's an honest mistake. He's just not a creep that
doesn't.
Because
she doesn't call him Vomit Boy this time. So I feel like that's, like, you know, I feel like that's good. And so
I kind of miss some of the humor that we got.
I could do without.
But, like, that, like, oh my god, it's like I can't even make friends. I've made negative friends. You didn't make negative friends. You made 0 friends with 2 enemies.
Yeah.
Like, I miss stuff like that.
I do miss that, too. But, like, I don't know how that stuff sort of translates, I guess. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because I don't think that I've seen an anime that makes those sorts of jokes like RWBY does.
I guess
I don't know. I would have to really think about it. Oh, I thought this was a pre-recorded video. No, Dar, we're here. If you want me to simp for Roman again, we can go back. But yeah, we're live, bitch. We're live.
Do it live.
What am I saying?
Something about the comedy.
Right. Like, I don't know. I haven't really watched an anime where a character has been like, again, like, no, you don't have negative friends, you have zero friends and 2 enemies. Like, I feel like that, I don't know. Like,
It would just land
think about
differently.
it. It would, like, that's a math joke.
I understand that, like, I don't know, that, like, there might be different tastes going into this, but I am myself, and I can only feel the way that I feel.
I do think those lines are funny.
Yeah,
I genuinely wonder how they translate.
But I also feel like that would be...
what did they do for the dub? Like,
but
the
that would be easier to translate
yeah.
than, like, regular girl with regular knees.
Yeah, that's
because they're
true.
probably not familiar with the bee's knees idiom.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm wondering, like, did they localize that in the dubs? Like, of the dubs of RWBY 3D? Is that what we're calling it? 3D RWBY? Did they localize that?
OG
like, did
RWBY?
they change it?
I
Like,
don't
did
know.
they change normal knees, or did they translate
That would be
it?
interesting to see. Well, because we have the Japanese DVD somewhere, so, like, maybe we could see, like, the subtitles.
Well, the subtitles are the same regardless. They don't actually do, like, a
the dubbing
translation.
would be.
I think Crunchyroll did, though. When RWBY was on the Crunchyroll site, they did a genuine translation instead of just having the English subtitles over the Japanese audio. So, I don't know. We would have to go look. But, yeah. Anyway, and so yeah, that's why I think some of the jokes may have gotten a little axed out here. But yeah, I just really liked this scene, and I like that. Well, here's some humor, okay? I don't know if you remember this, Hunter. Dad told us, remember? And then she's like, Dad didn't tell us about this, and he's like, yes, she did. And like, yes, Ty did, right? So I thought that was just funny. I like them explaining the test. I thought the holograph was really good.
It was your idea that, like, the floor would open and they would just drop totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Which I thought would have been really funny and better than, like, because they redo the weird, like, boom thing.
Yeah.
Which is one of the more silly things from...
I'm okay with that, though, still. I still like that. But yeah, like this, right? Like, this is funny, right? Partners, nobody told me about that. Dad told you, right? Like, I love Yang's face. So there is still humor. It's just
I love ADHD RWBY.
I know, I love ADHD
doesn't know what's going on.
too. And so, yeah, the temple, by the way,
I love the
so
kind of
good.
watercolory textures that a lot of
I love
has.
that too, and I think that's great.
And my parents.
Yes, exactly. And so then we have, like, the Pyrrha and Weiss scene. Schneekos is alive. Like, Schneekos, the people that ship Schneekos, they must be fucking living right now. Like, you know what I mean? I would be. Because, like, there was always something a little gay. But I think that there's something a lot more gay.
There's something innately gay about being a rich woman who's slightly repressed.
Yes,
even if you're straight,
well, like,
it's a little gay.
I mean? Like, look at how she looks at her. I just think it's, like, so much love and, like, admiration, whereas Pyrrha's just like, oh, fuck, I've been recognized, man. I was trying so hard not to be recognized, right? So I think that that's, like, good for Pyrrha.
And I think it communicates the sort of, I think it communicates why Pyrrha likes John, because John just treats her like normal.
Exactly, right? And she's polite about it. She's like, yeah, she doesn't say, I'll let the chips fall where they may this time. She says that she'll just think about it, you know? And, like, look at her.
Once again,
so
might be a thing that Japanese people might not get.
Oh, yeah, the chips fall.
Because casinos are not as prominent in Japan.
Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. She looks gorgeous. She looks great. And, like, Jean looks actually cute.
Look at my cutie
like, I
patootie.
could like Jean. Like, I don't usually like characters
I could like
Jean.
Jean.
But I could like Jean.
What do you mean character? Golden Retriever boys?
Yeah.
You want him a little meaner?
Yeah,
You want
like
a pit bull
Roman.
boy?
Like
Oh,
Roman.
boy.
You know, and so, yeah. Like, but Jean, he's cute. Yeah, right? So he's genuinely saying, you said I was your type, right? It's not his fault. Right? She said it.
I love how Weiss doesn't even pick up. She's like, what the fuck? Or like that look of disgust from earlier was so solid.
That was so good. She tries so hard to be recognized, but she's wearing the same outfit. She tries so hard not to be recognized, but she's wearing the same clothes. That's funny. Exactly. He's more handsome now. That's the thing. Again, with peace and love to Kirby, I know you're out there. I know some of you are watching this. With all the peace and love, Volume 1 models kind of look a little ugly, not gonna lie. This gives a lot more sweetness and softness to the characters. I'm just saying, you know, Jean's like one piece of hair that's just like a piece of uncooked pasta just sticking out of his head. He looks a lot cuter now. He's just a lot likable. He's more likable now. Are you gonna disagree with me, Hunter?
I think the writing has made him more likable.
Right, but I'm saying that just the art style also makes him look nicer. They just all look better, okay? I'm just gonna say it, they do, you know? It's more with the men. Like, RWBY women have always looked good. Like, Pyrrha has looked good, Weiss looks good. It's just the men that never look good, in my opinion. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, you know, Jean, Roman, like, even Crow. It's hit or miss sometimes. I'm just saying. So anyway, I love Jean's little face, too. He's like, hey, maybe you can be on the winning team. Like, he looks so happy about it. And again, that's kind of why, like, Pyrrha, you know, likes him, right? Because he doesn't know who she is. And I think, too, something they changed is that Jean doesn't actually like the cereal. So I'm guessing what happened is that maybe his siblings like the cereal, and they just, like, won the box.
Huh?
And everything, right?
But does he still have his sweater? His, like, from all the
I think he does.
tops?
But maybe that's because he won it and it only fit him. You know what I mean? Like, he won it from his sisters, but it only fit, like, Jean, right? And so I just like that, because he's like, oh yeah, I don't like that cereal, and she says, like, me neither, and so they kind of, like, bond over the cereal in a weird way.
They're disliked for sugary
I like
cereal.
the metaphor of that, I guess. I don't know, like, I just really liked this. I thought
Did
it was
you ever,
silly.
in RTX, they were selling, like, boxes of pumpkin peats,
Yeah,
right?
they used to, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what it would actually taste like. That would be
Probably
fun
just like Lucky Charms.
to do like a mukbang or
It
whatever.
would probably just be Lucky Charms. Arnold has one. It's unopened, but I'm sure it's like
a little stale.
Gross. Disgusting.
That's what's kind of good. Have you ever seen videos of like, yeah, I'm eating Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal from 1985. Let's do it.
That's probably bad. Don't do that. And so yeah, like Jean's just so like dejected.
Oh,
it's so
my baby,
sad.
it's okay.
Look at this, and it's so depressing. But
She's
I love
like-
how she looks at him though. Oh man, this was so good. And yeah, so then we have like initiation
My parents
time.
again. I love how that man
Our little
always.
lesbian bigot. Oh my god.
I love how. I was gonna make that joke about you. Anyways, I love
No,
how.
they're talking about Weiss Hunter, not me.
Like, my god, a racist and a misandrist you don't love.
Oh my god.
I also love how he has a coffee everywhere he goes.
Well, yeah, he's tired, man.
That man is so. He's
you
like
lived
your
this
tired
long,
dad.
okay? You know, like when you live that long, you're tired. The age makes the cereal better. It just like what do you
Like
call
a fine
it?
wine.
Exactly, the wine. But
I'm a
yeah.
cereal sommelier.
I loved this. Like, I loved, like, Yang, like, and, like, Jean. He's not asking this time. He's like, I got a bad feeling about this. Like, I just liked that. I liked them all shooting off still and how they kept
so
that.
silly.
I love Glinda's hair, too. Her hair's
She just
actually
looks
curly.
So lovely.
Like, now
lovely.
she's actually curly, in a way.
I
you
love
know?
how she probably just did it once with a curling iron. Just
Yeah.
that one. Or maybe.
It's hot chocolate, Hunter. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently the coffee is hot chocolate.
Chocolate.
Why do I have my
It was a
earbud
sweet
in?
tooth.
We're not listening to anything. When did I pick this up? ADHD. Anyway, let's talk about Xion. Okay? I'm
Xion.
assuming it's Xion like Kingdom Hearts Xion, and it's pronounced the exact same way, okay? So, Xion is sus, right? Look at this. We cover the eyes, right?
Also,
Like,
what gender are they?
they
are incredibly. Are they not been confirmed?
Yes, I think that they confirmed it on Talk RWBY to me, but because the Rooster Teeth Twitter account didn't post about it, nobody knew that Talk RWBY to me was happening. So I don't even know if anyone watched it. I
They
hope
really
that it'll
fumbled
go
the
up.
bag.
Yeah, and so like, I wish I had seen it. I wanted to be there, but they didn't even post a fucking link on Twitter. You know, they were like, oh, it's gonna be on RTTV, and I was like, oh, that was an hour ago. I guess it's over. So I hope that the archive's there, because I think Eddie was there, and I'd love to see Eddie, but like,
My
they
other
fumbled the
RWBY
bag,
dad.
so I don't know what. Anyway, so yeah, he's not from a different show. I totally disagree. They fit in with this show. Yeah, they confirmed them as non-binary, so I'm assuming it's the they them vibes. Here's why I think that they are sus. I wonder what kind of teams we'll get
Because you're
this
also
year.
transphobic as
No,
well as
Hunter, stop saying this. So, okay. What kind of teams will appear this year? And what kind of leaders? Is that not a reference to Weiss being a dictator? It could be,
That's a good point.
right? So I feel like that's a little sus, sir. Or, what's a gender neutral sir? Your Majesty? I feel like that's a little sus, Your Majesty, alright? So I'm just saying, like,
Cap.
I think that there is something sus about Xion, for sure. Because, like, they either said that to foreshadow the Weiss thing, or, like, you know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps.
So, it's either just coincidental foreshadowing, or they know that they are going to make Weiss into a dictator later. I don't know. And so, yeah. So I think that, like, maybe, I don't know. But yeah. And so here's the other thing about this character, and we'll talk about this
so
more
much.
later.
Can we the second I look, they're mysterious. They look like they haven't slept in 16 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, they're
team leaders are chosen right after this, though, but we don't know their semblance or anything.
They're ambivalently gendered, and they tie people up. Androgynous, ambivalently gendered.
What's ambivalently mean?
Not like one way or the other.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm thinking of? Benevolent. Benevolently gendered.
They may be evil.
But
and that's a bonus for me. What I'm saying is that I'm going to simp for them.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. You guys are saying that you think they're from a different show. That's not true, okay? So they are, I think, based off of Aurora and also the spinning wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Which makes sense.
Yes. And we'll talk more about that later because it's not in this picture right now, but you can see that the dress is pink, or whatever, it's purple. Like, the clothes are pink and blue, and that's the whole thing in, like, Sleeping Beauty. It's like, make it blue, make it pink, also, so there's a really nice, blue
also,
to
their
purple
last
to
name,
pink
what does their last name mean? I might look that up quickly.
Does anybody know their name meaning?
Can I see it again?
I actually have to pee, so why don't you do that, Hunter? Why don't you look up the name of the person and see if you can find a translation for, like, the name. And I'm gonna pee.
I'm looking up
I don't want you guys to...
Zayden.
To look at my...
What?
To look at my ass, so I'm exiting this way.
You think after the amount of... Oh, a Zayden. The meaning of the word Zayden. The name Zayden is primarily a gender-neutral name of American origin that means increasing surplus. Modern name from the Hebrew Zayd. Okay, does he have an increasing surplus of what, though? Souls? I don't know. Xian means beauty, apparently. That's interesting. Its popularity is not great. Okay, I'm gonna look up saying meaning. Oh, Arabic. Maybe that will teach us something. I mean, they are beautiful. Like, my God, look at them. The things I would do to hold their hand. So, the last name means, first names mean beautiful, which absolutely. Okay. Their last name is a Hebrew name, which means someone who collects, like, yeah, to grow or to increase or to collect.
Okay, well, that could be...
So, he's pretty and he gets a lot of stuff.
Oh, did you talk about the Dreamcatcher thing, Hunter, or did we?
Well, the Dreamcatcher will occur later.
Yeah.
But
did you reference that?
I did not
yet?
reference it.
Oh, okay, good. So you guys just talked about the name. I think that could be...
They are Endless Beauty.
I think that could be a reference to Sleeping Beauty, though, because part of one of the gifts that the fairies give her is, like it's endless beauty, endless grace, like endless song or whatever. It's
and he is beautiful.
You know, so I feel like that could be a Sleeping Beauty reference still for sure. God. Sleeping Beauty.
They never go out. Never go out into the sun. They're just perfect for me.
Yeah, and so so we'll talk more about the Aurora situation later. But it's like there's no such thing as a safe initiation test. And I just really like their makeup and like the gradients and everything. I just thought that was great. And so I don't know. I think that they're sus, to be honest. I feel like that they make the Grimm or something and they let it loose on purpose to like, I don't know, maybe they're working with Salem or something like that. We also see like their pants a little bit. There's like a crescent moon and a star, just like, you know, magic-y stuff. I don't think that like they're what am I trying to say? I don't think they look like they're too much out of a different show. They're Aurora. It was evident to me by the third episode.
They feel a little more like extravagant.
They're a bit more anime than usual.
They're a little more anime than usual.
But I do think that they were good. Like, you know what I mean? I do think they make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, I just really like Yang falling and like RWBY I just liked this because, like, look at RWBY's little, face right there.
I feel like that's a great reaction image.
Yeah,
like when you're mean to my friend and it's just RWBY going this with a giant sight.
Don't give the Twitter account any more ideas, Hunter. They haven't done enough actually recently. We'll talk about that later, maybe.
Christ alive.
All right, how are we doing on time? I think we're about halfway through, so we should be good. And so, yeah, I just really like RWBY searching for Yang,
my
Jean's face. All the facial expressions are
they're
just
really
so good.
Yes.
And, like, they're so expressive, and so I thought that that was good. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Like, we're gonna, this is all gonna be archived, so we'll talk about everything that you guys miss or if you have to go or whatever, right? I loved, like, Pyrrha sticking Jean in the tree again, like, just those things. And I love how, like, so they make eye contact, and, like, she just, like, leaves.
Just does not even, which I feel like they also took a lot of humor from this situation. Like, they took out the, you came back!
But
and, like,
they
the
do
happy...
have Where in the World is Pyrrha, so I think that's kind of funny, because she looks at RWBY and then pretends like she doesn't exist.
See her.
It's
I
just
do
a
not
different
see.
sense of humor,
I do not
right?
see.
Like, it's probably humor
It's
more for
subtle.
the Japanese audience,
But I mean, it's
right?
subtler.
Yeah.
But also, there's like Japanese shows that have that kind of bigger, more exaggerated.
I just think it's funny. I thought it was like,
I
that's
also
not
think
like
it's
we
funny.
pretend we
I
do not
also
see
think
it,
it's
right?
funny, but it's just different, you know.
I thought that it was.
And
cute.
difference is bad, and I will boycott this show.
Oh God!
There.
And so then we see Jean, right? Like, you know, like then we see Jean. She sees Jean, and she's like, "Damn it! I've already made eye contact with two people. I guess I should take RWBY."
It's like between the two of them, RWBY is preferable.
Exactly.
And they kind of do the thing. They're like, "You came back."
Yeah, like
One thing that will also be nicer when we get the English dub is that, like,
to hear
original
what they changed.
original volume RWBY is very different than, like, later RWBY.
Oh yeah.
And so it'll probably be nicer and less high pitch and a little more practiced and thought out.
Yeah, that'll be good to see all the voice acting
Yes.
again when we get it. And so yeah, so I love Weiss's like strategy, her strategical planning here. I do wonder if these were like the Beowulf or whatever. What are they fighting? The bears, the Ursa? I don't know anymore.
Ursa.
Or if it's the thorn thing, because I think when John falls on the ground, that is when possibly the thorn thing gets him when he falls on the floor. I can see it like you know what I mean, like going.
That's the noise it makes.
Exactly.
It's a shame it's so deadly, and it would probably get more people if it didn't go wherever.
Look at this. Look at Pyrrha. She's just so beautiful. Like, we just love her.
She's gorgeous.
Just stunning. We have no
Got any
choice
spots
but
left
to stand,
on your team?
You know, and so I just thought that that was great. And I love Yang. She's beautiful. She's stunning. We love Yang so much.
She's stunning. She's Grace.
But yeah, like, I love how, like, this was funny, too, I thought, right? Because, oh, you're slow, and then she, you know, shows off her semblance, and I love her cute little, again, it's not like, we're not dying laughing, but I thought this was cute.
It's cute.
This is a shipping moment. The White Rose shippers must be so happy. Like, listen, I have had some bad experiences with some White Rose shippers on Twitter because some White Rose shippers have been super fucking toxic. But to all the White Rose shippers out there that are not toxic, which is the majority, because the majority of people are not toxic, okay? It's just the few people that are toxic. I'm happy for you, White Rose shippers. If you're out there, I'm happy for you.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are, as long as you're not toxic, I'm happy for you. So yeah, I thought that this was cute. I thought that this was really cute. Right? Oh, it is the nightmare since it only targeted Jean and Weiss. Yeah, that's interesting. So maybe it was like choosing its targets, right? But see, I wonder if the Grimm has that capability of sentience. What if it is like Xion doing it? And Xion is just chosen, oh, well, Jean's the weak one, so he'll be the test subject. And then after that, I'll introduce Weiss because Weiss is the more powerful one. She's probably the most powerful person other than Pyrrha. And she's the more emotionally susceptible one compared to Pyrrha, because Pyrrha actually keeps a level head. So what if it is Xion that's doing this? Like, what if Xion chose them on purpose for, like, their little experiment or something?
It's like how, like, firefighters can also be arsonists.
Yeah, exactly. He's the firefighter, but then he's the arsonist. And so I feel like that's actually very interesting. That, like, they could be doing it, that they pick Jean because Jean is weak and emotionally compromised, and they pick Weiss because she's strong and emotionally compromised compared to Pyrrha, who's probably not as much so, right? And so I like that, and I like, this little, like, I like their little, like, walking and, like, the little conversation they have about, like, her skipping ahead and, like...
I also like how RWBY's a little more childlike, and they communicate that, but it's also like, you look about the same age, and then she's like, ugh, child.
Exactly. I think that makes it funnier, though,
does kind
right?
of make
because
it funny.
It's like, oh, like, you're just a child, but it's like, you're, like, 2 years apart, relax. I like this fight with Yang, but she really did not get to do that much. She literally, she just punched him in the dick
once.
Exactly, right? And so I loved that. And I love, like, too, like, how Blake's just, like, nice working with you, right? Like, I thought that was, like, very casual and nice, you know? So I thought that was good.
It's like, oh my
I
god,
liked
she's
that.
hot. I wonder if they're gonna do Bumblebee-ish stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's just Dr. Merlot. I mean, they could all be working together. Maybe, like, you know, Shion and Dr. Merlot is working with Salem. Like, these could be Salem's people that just, like, you know what I mean? Like, Dr. Merlot probably worked with Salem and he fucked off and died, and then she replaced him with Watts. This could have been maybe like, a replacement for somebody else.
Perhaps.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. So maybe he got it from.
Also, that
Merlot.
doesn't. I mean, I guess that's meant to be a Beowulf, but it's interesting in this art style. They look more goblin-y.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And like the monster. Have you ever seen Castlevania?
No.
They look more like the demons from Castlevania.
I do like this too. I like them falling into each other. Also, guys, please make this a meme.
That's an amazing.
People are desperate to maintain Murloc's canonicity. Listen, per Merlot. But yeah, I love both of them falling on each other.
I love that image needs to be like an impact.
I do love Ruby, like, being like, you're in the way, because it shows that even though she's more childlike, she's not just like nice and sweet and cute. She's like, no, you're in my fucking way, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Ruby still has, like, a bite to her, I guess, you know? And I thought that was really nice to see. Yeah, and so I thought that was great. Can she fall over me? Keith, we're too far back now, but... Okay, do you know that scene where the Grimm is, like, being held up with Weiss's glyphs? Are you gonna draw obsidian like that? I told somebody to tag you on Twitter, but I don't know if anyone actually did
Obsidian?
anything. Obsidian is Keith's OC that he ships with Weiss, which is just, like, a...
God bless you,
If you guys think that Fox and Neo's a crack ship, shipping a canon character with your own OC, that's the real work.
One of my favorite fanfictions is one of those, so I support.
You are in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you
no one else believes in you.
Nobody else believes in you. If you think I'm out here trying to do God's work for Fox and Neo, imagine what Keith has to do for his own ship. Anyway, so yeah.
I kind of want to look at it now. I don't know if I follow Keith. I don't know if I've seen it.
Like his OC? I don't know. Can I look this up at the same time? No, you'll just have to find it. Just look up, like, Obsidian Ruby into Twitter. You should be able to find it. But yeah, I love, like, the, you know, like, Ruby's, like, serious face, like, very serious, I'm shooting very seriously face. But then I guess she misses, or they bounce off the Grimm or something, because, like, Weiss is just like, you're wasting bullets. And I do think Hunter had a funny idea that... if she said duck, Ruby could have been like, duck, these are Beowulfs. I thought that was funny. I would actually like them to have Keith to that, like, in. I thought that would have been cute, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would work either. I think that that's a cute idea, though, but yeah. And so, okay, bitch, you guys will see in my reaction, which, again, for the second reminder, is up on Patreon. And so, in my reaction, I fucking called this. I saw the little, I don't know if anybody else did on their first watch, but, like, Hunter can attest that I saw the little,
you
like...
did. I didn't even notice them.
Thing, and I was like, it's a thing. We don't know what it is, but, like, it's a thing.
I assumed it was going to be, like, the guy from Maurice or whatever from, not Rocky Horror Picture Show, the other one. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, you mean the plant?
Yes,
oh, okay.
Seymour, that's what his name is.
Yeah. Don't worry, Hunter, I'm gonna go retweet a bunch for you.
Oh, thank you, dear.
So sweet. And so, yeah, and I like how she actually does compliment Weiss, kind of, right? Like, oh, it's your dust is really good, you know? All you do is waste Oren dust, right? So I like this. And I think that this is interesting, because I feel like that this could be recontextualized, right? Because, like, oh, like, Ruby has a temper, too, and she, like, cuts off the tree, and we know that Weiss is, like, very sensitive to that, you know, with Jock and everything. So I wonder if it's, like, that... I don't know, like, Ruby's temper also rubs her the wrong way, because all she can think of is, like, Jacques. Yeah. And, like, Jacques' temper and everything.
But they also kept her, like, getting angry and cutting the tree.
Yeah. And so, like, you're not just slow, you also have a temper. You're the worst. I think that's interesting. Like, that's an interesting thing to think about now that we know stuff about, like, Jacques and everything, right? I don't know, I just thought that was an interesting thing. It recontextualizes it. You're right. And, like, maybe that's why, like, she's so upset and everything, and she has, like, this, like, look on her face. I'll show that part again, just because I like the shots. But yeah, I just really like this, and then we get, like, the flashback with her with Winter again. And so I just thought that this was really, really good. No maidens? Oh my god, you guys. Maybe that is
After
a good
Pyrrha
one.
died, Ozpin, that was
Damn,
that was
Hunter, your
amazing.
phone's really trying. Are you connected to our Wi-Fi?
I don't think I am.
Oh,
I think
man.
that might be the issue. Yes, I am not. My Wi-Fi got turned off? What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're loading this on your data in the basement. Of course you can't see anything. But I do like this. It's interesting that Weiss seems a little more playful here than angry. Like, she's smiling at her.
He's a cute little boy with the purple hair.
Oh,
Big blue hair.
Blue
I
hair.
can't-
Damn,
I'm
Hunter.
smart.
You went through like 10 colors. Yeah, that's Obsidian. That's Keeps OC. So I'm asking, is he going to draw Keeps OC, right?
You're
Is he
stupid.
gonna
I like
draw
that
the
in a
OC?
man.
I
That's
know.
wonderful.
I want to draw that with Neo. Actually. I was thinking, because, okay, so part of Fox and Neo Week is a meme redraw. I think
God.
that may be a contender for a meme. It's so much easier for me to do meme redraws compared to, like, actual art, because I'm still bad. But yeah, anyway. I'm not that bad, but I'm still, like, I'm
You're getting
struggling.
there.
And so, yeah, then I just like this, and I like how, like, they have, like, the cute little pony thing, and and Blake
horsey.
nods, like, Blake's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then we have Yeehaw, which that's Nora, so again, we have that, like, Nora's, like, redneck still, like, we have those, like, redneck vibes, and I just thought that she was, like, really, really cute, and, like, it's broken was really cute, and I like, look at how much they love each other,
Aw.
like, you definitely, because in Volume 1, you kind of got the vibe that, like, Ren didn't like Nora that much, but he just tolerated her.
Or like you don't see him express it. a lot.
Exactly, right? Like, that's even what Glinda thought. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, damn, like, Ren is saddled with Nora. Like,
The
now
Valkyrie
they
girl.
actually love each other. Look at how much they love each other. I'm so, like, emotional looking at them. Why are you shaking your head, Hunter?
No, it's just,
Aren't
you're
they
right. Like, you're
cute?
right. They are
They
cute.
love
They are
each
very
other
cute.
so much, exactly. So I just really like this. And look at this, right? Like, I thought that you're the king of the castle, right? Instead of the song, they changed it. And, like, he's like, oh, like, okay, yeah, sure.
He's like, little
you
me.
know, whatever, okay. And so I thought that was cute. I thought that was really cute. You know, I thought that was adorable instead of, like, him sort of being like, huh, or whatever, like, you know. Oh, man, guys, I'm losing my voice. I'm not used to this anymore.
Yeah, you need to, like, rebuild your muscles for it. Your vocal muscles, your pipes.
I know, exactly. Oh, man. So, yeah, I like Blake trying to, like, help out and, like, shoot the thing. Thought that was really good. I like how she's like, it doesn't matter, just fucking pick one. I thought that this scene was really great. We're not going to show, like, too much of the fight scene stuff, just because it's, like,
it really is
it's
a
fight
remake
scene,
of it.
You know, like, it was good. They
One-
look good, like, you know, that's all.
They look good. I noticed that, like, there's less, like, of those, like, really intense, detailed moments in
Like,
this fight
in the,
scene
compared to the fight, yeah.
compared to the first episode.
Mhm.
And I think that's just because they
I
try to
think that
hook you
was
in
for
with the really
time,
good
too.
stuff.
It's like,
Yeah, I
this
mean,
isn't that important.
it's efforts and whatnot. But
Yeah. You know, and so, like, and again, the White Rose crumbs, guys.
Ooh,
Their handhold, accidental
the peak of
hand-holding.
eroticism.
Exactly.
Holding hands.
Isn't it, though? Like, yeah. I don't think they nailed what they wanted from Ren and Nora chemistry-wise at this point. Exactly. Like, hindsight again, 2020. And I kind of like that now in hindsight, yeah. I thought that was good. And I just, let's show them the ruins, because that's actually important. The ruins were great. I love, like, just the design of the ruins, right? Thought this was good. I like seeing, like, Yang's like, well, that's great that she just walks away, right?
We love an optimist.
So I thought that was really good, too, and, like, them fighting the scorpion. Like, it was less detailed in a way, but I do like that they actually showed, like, strategy Jean. Not in that screenshot, but they will eventually show strategy Jean. But yeah, there was just a lot of good, like, fighting stuff, and, like, it's not something that we can show all of you guys and, like, go through, unfortunately. But yeah, I just like this. I like how Jean, like, kind of, like, we have to get closer, and so he just runs in and, like, tries to do it. And I just love to see them fighting together. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels like more of a team effort than I remember from Volume 1. I haven't seen Volume 1 in a long
it was
time.
a team effort in the original.
But Jean actually does more strategy.
He does more strategy. I
don't know.
Because I think he does, like, yell, like, Pyrrha jump off of, or, like, no, Nora jump off of Pyrrha's sphere.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more prominent.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't remember Volume 1 that well, actually. Something I was thinking was I wanted my mom to react to RWBY with us. Maybe we'll do that in August when I have, like, my week off school. Not with us, but, like, with you. Like, you know what I mean? With them. That they'll see her react to RWBY. So, like, maybe that'll be good for me, because then I'll rewatch Volume 1 again. It's been a long time, man.
It has probably been a year and a
It's been a long time. Since Volume 1? I don't think I've rewatched Volume 1
I have.
since the first.
I have.
Unless I did watch all Roman Tortwick scenes, and it was 25 minutes long.
Of course
that was
you
volumes
did.
1 to
Fucking
3.
of course you did.
That was volumes 1 to 3. So
sure
anyway.
You watched it holding the camera.
Oh, man. So, fighting happens.
Fighting happens. It's out of the, I think it was the less exciting
And
fight.
he did, that is true. Jean did the entire fight without his aura, because Pyrrha only does it after.
Yeah.
So that's some good shit. Good job, Jean.
He presumably gets his shit rocked.
And yeah, I really like this scene, like, with Weiss and RWBY. I just thought that was
Learn
really
to cooperate.
Nice. Exactly. I like Ren getting fucking chucked into the... into the thing. I thought that was really good. But yeah, again, we're just trying to go through the fight to get to the other part. Actually, no, this is funny. I have to show you guys it. So the Pyrrha's weapon is in the grim, and then Nora hits it, and it comes right out its ass.
It was pretty amazing.
Said that.
It was like the best fighting moment of this episode.
It was funny.
It was
See,
so
that's another
great.
subtle funny thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if
but also I don't know if it was intentional
funny.
to be funny that they just blew out his ass. But
I think it's funny. And I like
but it's equal parts funny and also like effective scene in a fight.
I like Nora checking on Ren and stuff. I love just like Pyrrha just looks so like beautiful and like pretty. There's a bar in the chat.
My queen.
Delete it. Okay. Sorry, guys.
That's unfortunate.
Oops. Okay, there we go.
What?
The bot. We got a bot. The bot is gone. Yeah, I'm gonna report it too for being a bot.
I like the idea. I wonder like what RWBY character would fall for like a bot like that. I feel like Roman might.
Oh my god.
No, Roman's too smart.
Roman wouldn't anyway.
Nora
so yeah,
would.
I love like the fight. I love how unhinged Yang is. Like I know.
Yeah. I love that scene where
was-
she opens up its mouth and just punches in it. Like
I know
like
she
how
was
they...
originally, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I know that originally, she was also,
in its mouth shooting at
unhinged.
it.
Yeah, like, I know that she was like that before, but I think that, like, this was really good, like, to see, like, her being more unhinged.
Aggressive.
Oh, man, and so I thought that that was really good. I like the shooting off, and like now the glyph changes colors.
But it's
too.
interesting because before there was a joke there where it was like, yeah, I can do it. Like, can you do it? Yes, I can do it. Like there was a joke there, but now it's just like my feelings, and like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's just like I do kind of miss it.
I don't miss it. I guess that's the difference, right? Like I don't miss it. I'm fine with it. I'm joyless. No, I was just having fun. I don't need constant jokes to be happy. I was just enjoying myself. You know what I mean?
I don't either, but I guess it's just it loses its kind of like appeal.
Sure. I know what you mean. I like the glyph changing colors. I thought that was great. Like it's like, oh my god, it's happening again. Jesus Christ. Hold on, guys.
I like how we have to pause right before like this.
I know. Let's do
custom?
Yeah, let's do custom, and then let's do
5 hours.
Sure. 8 hours.
See ya.
Alright, hopefully that'll fix the bot. So now you have to be subscribed if you want to talk. Oh, boy. Yeah, leave the bot alone. Okay, anyway. Hope I don't get in trouble for that.
Oh dear.
That's YouTube's fault, not mine. Anyway, and so, yeah, I really liked, like, the Nevermore and how she held it down, but then it was getting away a little too fast, so she had to, like, adjust it and, like, help RWBY with the glyphs. I thought that was great. This was a nice shot of Weiss. I really liked this
gorgeous.
one. And then we just go, wee, like, you know, and I love, like, going wee
dragging
up the
her
cliff.
up the
now,
side of a
here's
cliff.
what I will say. This is my one major, like, if I had to make a criticism of, like, what's been going on right now. This is, like, my first, like, major one. I do think that the music situation kind of sucks ass a little bit.
Because it's, like, orchestral, but it's not the most hardcore, and I feel like RWBY needs that kind of, like heavy, guitar-heavy music.
It's not even that, but it's, like, I wouldn't mind the orchestral,
If it was punchier.
but it's not synced. You know what I mean? Like, something that was nice about the fight scenes was that the music was synced with the battle action, right? And even though visually, I do agree with Dan that, like, they did this shot, like, a lot of justice. Like, they did a lot of, like, good stuff with, like, you know, RWBY right here in the shot, and I love seeing them all like this. And, like, Yang's actually, like, Yang has a little
They could make her buffer.
You know?
I believe in buff animated women supremacy.
They could, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's actually, like, buff now and stuff. But, like, I think that the music was just a little, like, lackluster because it didn't sync. You didn't feel like right as RWBY cuts off the head, it says you, like, or whatever, like, it's red like roses, right? That happens during the Nevermore fight? I don't know. Whatever song it was, like, in terms of canon RWBY, I feel like that the music is really lacking. Right now, and like, I don't think that they should have put the RWBY track in, but I do think they need stronger and punchier music, and I hope that's just like a coincidence, or like just a one-off, because
other music was good, like the music in the Roman RWBY fight scene was strong.
And so that's like the weird thing, I just didn't like, I don't know, I just really didn't like the lack of music usage, like, in the background of the fight, especially when they weren't talking. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that I wish that it was more like it hit the beats, even if it was as subtle as, like, how Dan's saying in the chat, even if it was, like, subtle, I still wish that it synced, if that makes sense. And to me, it doesn't. Like, it didn't sync as well. You're still going. We still have one more episode to go, bitch!
Probably an hour.
See, it seems like they found the hiding place. That's a little bit weird. That's weird phrasing.
That is weird phrasing.
Right? Like, it's not like, oh no, the monsters are inside of your students, Professor Osmond. Like, he says, seems like they found their hiding place. You know, like, I guess Osmond does say, let's prepare for the worst. But it's sketchy wording, isn't it?
It is a little weird. Then again, we already know Osmond's sketchy. We don't know about this person.
And so now, we will move on to episode 3. Yeah, I know that RWBY's tracks wouldn't have synced well, but I mean for them to have made their own original music, I guess. Yeah, like, more singing songs, I guess.
More rockish, I think.
Yeah. Like, I guess that's what I mean. Like, I know that anime usually only have an OP and an end song, but I wish they did, like, they made more songs. Or they used songs that already exist. I don't know.
But, like, no, most anime also have an original soundtrack. Like...
No, but I mean a vocal song.
Yeah, that's true.
They made their own original vocal songs. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. Do you need anything, Hunter? Do you want, like, a snack? Should I go out and bring back, like, an Oreo or something?
Just a singular Oreo.
A singular Oreo?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm hungry, but we gotta finish.
I was prepared, right? I have a catheter in. I had lunch before I came here. We're all good.
It's not awkwardly phrased. It's sketchily phrased. He's sketchy. They're sketchy. So yeah. I just love this shot of Beacon. I thought that this was great. We're on episode 3 now. I'm gonna have to timestamp all this shit later. We'll have to figure it out. But yeah. What? What was I saying? Oh yeah, Beacon looks nice. Beacon looks great. The ADHD just got to me. I love like the initiation, like redo of this scene. I thought that this was really cute. I love seeing Nora and Ren. Like, I just love, like, how, they're just so cute. They really made the shipping, I don't know how to explain it, more prominent and also, like, less
more thought
out of the blue. Like, it's definitely more thought out. And, like, I don't say this in a bad way, but I think that we need to, how do I explain this? There's a lot of people that are going to be like, the RWBY critics are going to be, like, all, like, insufferable because they're going to say this is a superior version of RWBY. Like, you know, there's already people saying stuff like that, right? But I think that there's a middle ground where, yes, clearly with the benefit of hindsight, certain things are more well-written, right? And I don't think that that's necessarily unfair to say. And I think that some people are going to treat that like that's like, oh, like, of course the RWBY critics would think this is better than Miles and Carrie, like as if they're doing it out of spite. But genuinely, when you have hindsight, things tend to go better. So, like, I do think that, yes, in some regards, this is better written because they had the benefit of hindsight to make it smoother,
But also, they were like cheating off their neighbor's test. They were
Yeah.
looking at their
And
neighbor's
so I feel
house.
like that it's just a balance. You can have a balance of that opinion, that it's more well written, but also acknowledge the benefit of hindsight. So I think, I don't know, people are just making up arguments that the RWBY critics haven't said yet just to be annoyed at them, and I think that that's just funny, because, like, you're arguing against a person who maybe doesn't even exist. You've just made up,
straw man
you just
argument.
already made up what you think they're gonna say. Like, I don't know. I know what it is, but I'm saying, like, in terms of, like, going on Twitter and being mad about somebody that doesn't exist yet. Like, why are you doing that?
Invented a brand new dude.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I feel like people are going after the RWBY critics already when they don't need to, because, like, yeah, it is better written, but that doesn't mean that, like, RWBY regular's bad, and I'll say that, too. It's an improvement on what we already got, but that doesn't mean that that's a dunk on regular RWBY either. I think that it's good to say that it's an improvement. Do you want them to say it was a downgrade? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, do you want me to be like, no, this is actually worse?
And I mean, I'm sure there's going to, like, come unique flaws when they get to the original
we should
stuff.
only be getting better. Yeah. I don't know. That's my opinion. We should only be getting better.
Because you're looking at someone else's thing, you know? And sometimes people fail at that. People, like, make terrible remakes of good things.
That's true.
Or covers or whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, this is an easy mode. You know, they did a good job. I think they really considered
Me too.
RWBY.
Also, it's not that hot here, guys. We are in the basement, so, like, it's gonna be okay. We're fine.
We'll
like,
be okay.
Don't worry, we're fine.
Is there, like, not heat stroke?
I don't know.
Not heat stroke. Like,
heat warning?
wave?
I have no idea. Oh, I haven't been outside. Anyway. So, yeah, I just love this. I love that boom, 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 boom. They're just so cute.
I like how they're organized by height. And you can kind of see that, like, RWBY is, like, the little kid of the
I don't
group.
think that was intentional, though, because they're just standing in, like, letter order.
My favorite thing in Team RWBY fanfiction is when, like, Weiss and RWBY are dating and then RWBY gets taller than Weiss.
Oh, yeah. We love that. I also love that,
difference.
but I love that with, like, Oscar is shorter than RWBY, but then Oscar gets older and then he's taller than RWBY.
Yeah, that's
I
cute.
love a good one of those, like, in fanfiction, or, like, kind of the same thing with, like, I don't know, like, you have two characters that have known each other since childhood. Let's just say it's Neo and Fox, and then, like, Fox grows up and he's just 6'2" and she's 4'9". So anyway,
what's Fox's canon height? I feel like you would know.
We just don't know. Like, we don't know. But I'm assuming it's over 6 foot.
Remember that old school, like, height chart?
Yasuo Hashi on that height chart is 7 foot tall, which would make Hazel, like, 8 foot tall. So I don't think that chart actually makes any fucking
people
sense.
It's an anime show. People have cat ears. Yasuashi can be 7. There are people who are 7 foot tall.
Are there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, based off of that chart, I believe Fox is 6'2". So as tall as you are. Yeah. But Neo's even shorter than me. Could you imagine?
Neo's 5'11", isn't she?
That's why in the fanfic, when I wrote certain things, I was like, Neo, like, leaned her head on Fox's shoulder. But then I had to think about how Neo would be sitting to be able to get up that high.
She would, like, tuck her head in his armpit.
Yeah, exactly.
She's so much
you
shorter.
know what I mean? So anyway, that
like, the height difference between us is already hilarious, and you're, like, 5'4", right?
2.
2, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still a foot taller than Jesus Christ.
And so, yeah. Anyway, we love a good height difference. That's what we're talking about. I forgot. Anyway, I just love, like, Yang hugging RWBY. The other thing is, they did a lot better with, like,
I love how it
and
communicates
sisterhood this time.
And it like, even this little scene, like Weiss is pissed, Yang is happy, Blake is indifferent, RWBY's kind of shocked, and I don't know. It's just they put I like the details. I like the little details.
And so I just think that, like, what do I think? What was I saying? I forgot again.
The fucking ADD is running you down.
I didn't take my ADHD medication. I think that's what happened. I don't think I actually took it today. Anyway, oh yes, I think that they've done a lot better with their sisterly relationship compared to the first.
Forget to take your medication.
Honestly.
Don't you just take it every day?
No, it's not. Anyway, it's a long story, but yeah. So I like the sisterhood that they gave Yang and RWBY a little bit more, because it was in Volume 1, but they did a lot better job with it with the past couple episodes. Also, we have a scary thing on Weiss's neck, which I also picked up on.
I compared it to the guy from Beastly, the 2000s Beauty and the Beast remake.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Their
Good
expression work is great. And again, that's just a 2D capability that 3D doesn't have. I love that they did keep the joke about like the haphazardly placed bunk beds though.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice that they got rid of maybe like the scene at the beginning where they're like putting up the Achievement Hunter.
And I love
especially because Achievement Hunter looks a lot different now.
Look at the shine on their hair though, even compared to before. Like, no, I guess that was in this scene too, but it's a lot brighter in this scene, in my opinion. At least I think it is. Like the hair shine,
the lighting's different.
The lighting's a lot brighter, and I think that that's really nice. And I like how Weiss is like tentatively touching the bunk beds. I've never seen a bunk bed before. Well, bitch, this is not it. Like, just so you know, this
your workers in their rundown lodgers. They have bunk beds.
And so I just thought that this was really cute. I like the height difference of like even Blake to Ruby.
Yeah, it's
more
so
prominent compared to like the regular show, and so I thought that that was nice. And I like how Weiss actually seems to admire her here. Like, you're always so excited for everything, such positive energy, such a joy, you know. And so I really like that. I also I thought the port scene was good, but the fact that Velvet wasn't here, I really thought we were gonna see her.
But also, like,
doesn't
it not make sense that Velvet, because Velvet's a second year.
Maybe she failed the fucking class.
Velvet's a smart girl.
Maybe she accidentally failed.
No, I don't. But I think that's maybe a bit of a plot hole.
It didn't make sense. But like,
you just didn't think about it.
At the same time, what if it works like electives? Like, what if this is like History 101, but you can take it at any point in your stay at Beacon?
Maybe,
our school had that too, where you could be mixed with first years and second years. So like, maybe everybody doesn't take the same classes. Maybe you pick electives, but they all decided to take the same history. Like,
that's true.
You remember those charts in college where it said you can pick one from table 1, and then one from table 2, and one from table 3, but you need at least one from 1, one from 2, and one from 3, like your entire college term. So maybe that's how it worked. Like, maybe, you know, and they all just decided to take the history one now because they are all in the same year. And
I don't know, maybe Velvet's getting a concurrent education. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe Velvet, like, maybe Team Coffee all picks, all pick what they're interested in, whereas Team RWBY kind of stayed together a bit more arbitrarily because they wanted to help each other study.
But also, part of me also feels like, wouldn't she take, like, technologies class over a history class?
No, I think Velvet's into history. I could see her being into history, personally. Wait, well, this isn't history, is it? This is also, like, grim study, man.
Which I feel like would be, like, important. But no, it was Oobleck it was in Oobleck's class.
Yeah, what class is that anyway?
Which
Whatever,
was
I'm sad we didn't see Velvet, I don't care.
I don't care about plot holes, I don't care about internal reasoning.
Plot holes, okay?
I just want my bunny girl.
But that's how real college works, is that you can be mixed in with people for multiple years.
That is true.
Right?
That is true.
Exactly. Even though, And so I like also their color-coded pencil cases. I don't know if that was in the original show, but I really liked that.
It cute as fuck.
Yeah, and I just like Ruby slowly falling asleep here. I thought was cute. I like Ruby's her hair like flying out on the desk was really cute and adorable.
Now this makes sense why Ruby would perhaps not be the greatest
student because she constantly
has
ADHD and she falls asleep in class. Oh,
also,
man.
Can we talk about how, like, he looks so much older than he does in the court?
He looks so much better.
Like, he has a big, fluffy, voluptuous beard.
Like, you know what I mean? They
like,
fixed
that
him.
beard looks soft, like I want to touch it.
I also like this, like, how they captured that thing, stuff. I just like, I don't know, just nice little Blake and
I just love, like, Blake's bored face. Like, it just works, like...
And I love, like, Weiss, like, raising her hand up and then Ruby actually waking up for that. Again, like, subtle humor. That made me laugh. You know, I thought that was cute. Ruby falling asleep meme. I should post that. I should be like me when the RWBY Twitter account tweets. And it's just Ruby's asleep. Me when Eddie Revis tweets and then it's Ruby awake. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But yeah, like Weiss and the Borbatus, I like that they kept Blake's little flag. Because they don't really like each other that much yet. You know? No, she had it in this scene.
She did?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought she did. I recall that.
But yeah, like, you know what I mean? I thought that this was adorable. I thought that was really cute, you know? And so I thought that was nice.
Also, the way they animate the boar, but like it makes it look more like a monster, like it's a salivating, big, ugly creature.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you guys should see some of the screenshots I got. Okay, maybe that was not the best one. I do like this. I do like how she's trying to backseat, like, game voice right now. Backseat murder. But yeah, look at this. Like, this is one of the shots I got. Like, you just see the teeth and everything.
It's just very
it's
intense.
Just brutal and intense, and I love that.
And I love how they animate, like, Weiss. They really gave a lot of
magic
detail
and the aura.
here.
I guess not magic. Sorry, the semblance.
Although part of me is like, I wish they went softer on this one, so we get another fight scene that they skipped later on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, because something dirty happened, guys. They did something dirty happened. It was sad. But yeah, I love, like, again, like, look at the Borbitusk. It's so much more of a monster compared to before.
Yes,
this is what I'm saying again. I don't know how possible this is, but I wouldn't mind a RWBY remake. All 2D animated. I really wouldn't. I probably like it better than the normal show. I
feel like typically an animated show gets like a live action adaptation. No, we just go a different type of animation.
Why not?
Now.
I would love that. I would think that that's amazing if they reanimated the entirety of RWBY.
I would watch it.
You know,
I'm a slut, so I would watch it.
It'd be easy. Maybe. I don't know. Question mark? Would it be easy?
I love how sparsely populated his classes are. Like, no one wants to show up for them.
Exactly, right? But yeah, I like this conversation of like why is Weiss pissed? Like, you know, I kind of like that. And then we get the freaky things that are happening
Coraline
here.
RWBY, or Coraline Weiss.
We'll talk more about this though when we get to that part, but I do like this, like, oh, you have to let, like, you know, RWBY handle this herself, like, this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that, and I like, again, Yang's little, like, facial expression that she had here. I just had a weird moment where I realized that we're here talking about RWBY. Like, suddenly it just became real, where I just had a weird moment where I, like, looked at myself in the capture and was like, oh my god, guys.
It's returned.
It's RWBY season. Like, it's RWBY season.
It's RWBY. It's like that scene in the second High School Musical, but instead of summer, it's RWBY. 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 The same vibe.
I just saw myself outside of my body and realized what we were doing.
You really have not taken your ADHD medication today, have you?
Oh my god. Anyway,
it's becoming increasingly obvious.
So I just like Yang's little face.
I like their little flirtatiousness, like their little, like, back
friction is the oral
and she's smiling like she likes it.
Or whatever my teacher said. Anyway, whatever it was, foreplay is... wit is the oral of words or something, whatever he said.
Oral of words?
Yeah, like a wit in fiction and whatever.
Wit is the oral of language.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, so whatever it was.
Whenever I'm funny, Cal's professor's gonna think I'm sucking dick.
Oh dear.
That's how that works.
Yes, that is true. Yeah. We do get some deviations happening now. But yeah, I do like the look on her face, and I like how they talk outside this time instead of Osmond just like randomly showing up in the hallway, which was fine before. But like, I don't know. Also,
I know we've talked about it before, but like, woof, that man.
Yeah, Osmond.
He looks like he would give a good hug.
And I do like the talk that they have. Like, look at this water. This is so pretty.
It really is gorgeous.
This. Like, this was awesome. I do think though that this thing, whatever this is over here, is oddly phallic, and they didn't have to do that. So I think that is a little strange. Like, why didn't you just make the bridge like flat? Like,
why is there a giant? Yeah, that's why is there a giant white and
green.
There's
a weird obelisk.
Also, if your phallus, as we've discussed, looks like that, call a physician.
Oh God. So yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, we're seeing more of the outside of Beacon, which I think is nice. I also just like, again, like, I don't know, fence decoration.
Yeah, it's the little details.
Oh my God,
because I just like getting a better eye for the architecture, because it was kind of plain in those first seasons.
I wonder if I could get a shot of, like, let's just go back. I wonder if I could get a shot of, like, this area and, like, put Fox and Neo on this balcony.
You fucking could. You could have him sit in
Exactly. We could even have them sit in the chair when we get that shot of the bench, you know what I mean? Anyway, God. I'm just thinking. And so, yeah.
I love how neither Neo or Fox have shown up in these episodes, but you have consistently discussed Neo and Fox.
See, okay, so this is random, but Judgmental Critter DM'd me this morning, and she was like, hey, do you want to be on my podcast about the first 3 episodes? Which I said, yes, but also I'm busy, so we're planning to do the 4th episode together or something. Okay. So just a little spoiler alert that me and Critter may be doing a collab video. But when she messaged me, I couldn't help but think, I'm really going to have to rein it in because I'm just like the fox in Neo is constantly on the brain.
Because with me, I'm aware that you're insane, but you don't want to frighten your mutuals.
I can't frighten the other I can't frighten the other RWBY tubers.
Cal, stop talking about Neo X Fox. You're scaring the hoes.
No. Critter, you're not a hoe. It's a turn of phrase.
What do you know? Nothing's wrong.
So yeah. So anyway, that's what I thought of this morning. I was like, I'm really gonna have to relax because she's gonna think I'm insane. But anyway. Okay, everybody just breathe. Fucking Cardin Winchester, but y'all couldn't put Velvet in here. Makes me so mad.
You gotta have. They have to introduce the idea of the thing.
I know, and the high stress.
And at least they cut out like he's not doing his homework and he doesn't get bitten by bees and all this other crap.
I know. Like I do like this that like Weiss is like, oh, cheering has to be loud, and she sees how supportive RWBY is even of the other teams. Like she's not like cutthroat or anything.
I'm sorry. Weiss is a big old.
Pyrrha looking at Jean though is like she's so in love with him. Like she's sipping so hard. She's
so worried about her boy.
I think it's great.
I'm very pro it.
Yeah, so Cardin just
I'm glad that they made
man.
Cardin just big and scary and not like annoying Ponce asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's just so like
his aura is full, bitch. Like
that man. Jean did not do anything.
But yeah, Cardin actually looks very good here. Like, he looks more strong and less annoying, I guess.
Also, my queen, hello, you've returned.
Yes, and so I like them. Like, they all have this, like,
thicker than a Snicker.
Sad look on their face, and then,
he has his beastly tattoos.
We get the shot. I think that this was good. Like, I like the scene on the balcony this time.
Which, if his aura isn't turned on, then how did it even show up there? Or did he just get his ass kicked?
I'm assuming that you have aura on the inside, but not on the outside, if that makes sense. So
internal bleeding!
Not like internal bleeding, but like, his aura still took damage, but didn't actually protect the outside of your body. Does that make sense? Like, imagine aura as like, it's your diaphragm, okay? It's in here, right? It comes out and it covers you, and that's what prevents you from taking damage. So I'm assuming that John still has aura, but it's not protecting his actual skin, right? I'm assuming that that's the explanation for this. Or they forgot to fix it, but I think that my idea is right, because everybody, what did she say? She said all living things have aura, it's just unlocking it to protect you. That's the difference. So it's not a plot hole, I fixed it.
I still like the idea of like, wow, your aura hasn't been touched and you're spitting teeth. John, are you okay?
Versus active aura. Exactly.
Cute little nose.
Right? And so I thought that this was really good. Jean did look weird here, though. I don't know what was happening in that
He
shot,
has like Edward Cullen sparkling skin in the sun.
But like Kira basically explains it. So I think that it's fair. All living things have aura. It's just that it wasn't helping protect him. So I think that was good. And like, look at how much she loves him. This is just so nice. Also, though,
I want someone to look at me the way Pyrrha looks at John. Like, God, you're incompetent, but I still love you.
How did Weiss know to come up here? That's a random
You know
thing.
why? She was stalking Pyrrha.
Oh my God.
Because she wanted to be like, I don't know, like invite her out, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought that was great. And I just love her rationale. Like, oh, well, if Pyrrha can do it, I guess I can. So she's kind of faking it. In a way, she didn't really take advice to heart, like Port's advice to heart.
But she's also smiling, so maybe she hasn't internalized the whole idea of like, she needs to justify her being a decent person in weird ways.
Yeah, and so like, it's sort of a mix. Like, I feel like Weiss is genuine, but she's also still trying to be conniving.
Yes.
She wants to be genuine, but she's playing off her genuineness as pretending to be conniving.
Yes, because she needs to justify her
Exactly.
Because for her, kindness is a weakness.
Yeah, like
instead of a strength. So she needs to lie to herself about her own kindness.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Exactly. So I think that was really nice. And I like this scene, like the coffee scene. The coffee cup looked good. I love like Weiss. Like, her little whisper, and she just looks so nice, and, like, the White Rose shippers must be living, like I've already said.
I don't doubt they are.
So, I just really liked this scene. I thought it was really cute. And I like her little, I've always wanted a bunk bed, because I do think that is
like,
true.
she wanted to, like, she's probably so like, she wanted to share a room with her sister.
Yeah, exactly. She probably had this giant empty room, right, all alone.
Filled with only her
And so, yeah, like, I feel like that was really good. So I feel like Hunter, you really people
Susan,
complained about that.
Look at her little
but
cat face. You need to show the people her cat face.
I will show the people her cat face. I think that was good. I also kind of like how Blake's already awake because unless is the stream buffering? Are you guys okay? Okay, you guys seem fine. Are you guys good? Okay.
I think we're
Blake probably has to like wake up and put on her bow every day, right?
Or like if not that, like she's also more aware of like when people are walking in.
Yeah.
Like because in the White Fang you never know when you're gonna get attacked, I suppose.
But like it seems like they're waking up the next morning though, because there's light through the window. So I thought this was the next day.
Okay, maybe.
Right? So I'm just saying that Blake...
Moonlight? It's always a big moon in RWBY.
I don't know. Like, I feel like Blake had to, like, spend some time with her bow or something. Maybe, no, you're right, though, because Jean's... Like, unless this happened the morning before his teammates
I think
woke
that's
up.
just Moonlight.
Maybe it is Moonlight. Maybe Hunter's right. Blake is just like, Weiss is up, I can't sleep.
Like, that's Weiss. I don't have to gut her if she... tries to jump in bed with me.
And so I thought that this was good, like, using Jean as, like, an example, you know. And I like, too,
Coraline Jean.
they say these horrible things, but they don't look mean.
Yeah,
they say them with a... like, they're smiling. Like, I think
you're a
that's
piece
so
of shit. What do you want? Like,
right?
Don't you agree? That's the upsetting part. It's just like, it's like the
it's not
insecurities
even
you already have.
Angry. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, don't you agree? Like, you know what I mean? It's so, like, lighthearted.
Yeah.
Also, for some reason, John looks, like, attractive. Again, just, you know, even in the ones... I'm just pointing it out. All of them look attractive.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You just like your anime boys.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think that's all it is. And it's okay that that's all it is. But it's what it is.
Maybe. And so, yeah, I just really like Pyrrha right here. And, like, you know, her figuring out that something's, like, Jean's fucked up, man. Something is wrong.
John's fucked up.
But yeah, I do really like this scene, and I like... Okay, so here's the weird part, though. Why did they undress him? Something's wrong with his aura. Let's take his clothes off.
Let's get him naked. Like
Pyrrha. Okay, Pyrrha.
That was, like, Pyrrha's first suggestion.
Like, yeah, because maybe she saw it on his neck, and so then they unraveled him. But I think it's funnier if she's like, John's not feeling well. Quick, take off his clothes. And the other two are like...
I'll get the anal thermometer. Pyrrha, no! I'll rub Vicks on his chest.
Exactly. I think that's
you can stop rubbing Vicks on his chest, Pyrrha.
I think that's a little more funny. But yeah, so
I'll give him CPR.
I also
He's still
love
breathing.
how everyone's standing here with shirtless Jean. You know what I mean? In the room. And yeah, so then we get more of Xion again. Xion's nails are painted, which I thought that was a nice little touch.
Do you think I could... How pale? They're like the palest...
They're like Salem pale. Like Salem you would have to wear makeup.
You'd have
if you wanted to cosplay.
That or it would have to be in the dead of winter.
See, this is sus. I don't know why, but just the way that they say things and the way that they aren't showing their eyes, that's like classic anime. Character means they're hiding something or lying or some bullshit, right?
I mean, they're probably nefarious in some capacity.
Also, so here's part of the Aurora evidence, and we will make a separate video on this.
Yeah, it's like
this is like the spinning wheel, right? In Sleeping Beauty. And then this is also like the spinning wheel.
That reminded me of in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
When the guy cleans up Woody.
This is the spinning wheel, and for some reason, who knows what the fuck this is.
That's a photo.
I think it's a keyboard.
Is that a photo there?
Yeah, it's art.
Okay.
It's like a Japanese portrait, and then this one's also
that
a
looks
portrait.
Kind of like Tyrion.
I think it's not Tyrion. It's a piece of art. I know exactly because it's from Animal Crossing. It's not from Animal Crossing. It's in Animal Crossing. It's not Tyrion. They're art, but I don't know why he has art on his keyboard because this is a keyboard, and this is his PC, I guess. And then
that's a rice
all
cooker,
the thread. No, this is the thing to hold the grid, right? So yeah.
There's an old rotary phone.
Yeah, it's like a sewing kit. Exactly. I wonder what the Japanese means.
I wonder with the rotary phone would he be able to like call people?
He did.
That's what he does.
Pyrrha, right?
That's
so
what he does,
I don't understand how they did that.
He's magic.
Okay. So I guess now they're really bright in this scene.
They are pasty as fuck.
Yeah. I guess I want to get a good shot of it before we talk about this, but I do like the scene where they're doing like all the threads and stuff. I thought that was cool. So let's talk about the Dreamcatcher situation because I feel like we should probably talk about the Dreamcatcher.
Is that perhaps appropriative? Little bit.
I think that it's a little sus.
But it's also different enough that like dream catchers don't work like that. They don't make them like magical fishing rods.
Yeah.
So you can see if it's inspired by something but different enough. Is
I don't
really
know
okay?
if it's different enough, which is the problem. I mean, we are also not the authority.
We're not
on
going to
this,
be the authority, so
we're
I'm not going to
make
like
a
say that
judgment.
I'm going to say I can see people being okay with this.
People were not okay with this morning.
Really?
That is why
Okay.
I wanted to talk about
Well,
it.
is it overwhelmingly like white people that don't actually have a personal connection
No, it wasn't.
to it?
The person that did make the tweet, they are indigenous, I
Okay.
believe. So I think that it is like a legitimate concern. I will say though that I didn't get Dreamcatcher at first. I did think that it was a spinning wheel just because all
Perhaps,
the other stuff.
yeah.
But like the dangly things are definitely like Dreamcatcher feather-esque. So like I don't know why they had to do that. They could have just made it a spinning wheel, right?
Perhaps.
And so yeah, it's
They wanted to
definitely-
make it different simply because it's dreams. It's also
Yeah.
Japan, and historically they don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
cultural
so that's kind
appropriation.
of the problem is that they don't give a fuck, but RWBY's fan base does give a fuck based
That's
off
true.
of like what the show's themes are and what has been cultivated. So
I mean, reality,
I
99% of
don't
people won't think about that.
yeah, I just
reality.
think they probably could have done better with this. It's reminding me of the Grimm fan art contest again.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, didn't they run into bad like stuff with that a bunch of people
Yeah.
tried to make Wendigos, and they were like, all right, guys, fucking, we got
Yeah,
more than
and so
just
I
this."
do think that it's kind of like I think that they should have looked out for that,
see.
like the Western team, and maybe got them to change it.
But
so it
I'm
was
sure,
more spinning
if it
wheel
was
looking.
Roman with
No,
the dream
if it
catcher.
was not Roman, but yeah. And so I do think that there's a bit of a problem. I'm not gonna say it's problematic, but it is something that they probably should have considered not doing because it is appropriative, and people did feel like it was appropriative.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with no. They didn't need to do this. They could have made it something. They should have made it something else. They should have not appropriated the Dreamcatcher situation because there's other things that do the same thing. Like it didn't need
Or
to
you
be
could
a
have, or you could
Dreamcatcher.
made it more abstract.
Or yeah, like it didn't need to have the dangly things.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it look like a dream catcher.
Yeah,
in my
the dangly
opinion.
things a little. It could look more wandish.
I don't think that it's overreacting. I think that it's a legitimate concern because it is.
I mean, I'm not.
supposed
If
to
someone,
be-
I feel like a lot of people are not going to notice, and it's
Yeah.
going to be like kind of swept under the rug, and people won't.
And I think that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, I think it's a culture clash thing. I will agree with that. But like, it is supposed to be sacred, so it'd be like them using a crucifix, which, to be fair, anime do sometimes.
But also,
Well,
that's
like-
a difference between like appropriating an oppressed minority and
Yeah.
appropriating a
And so that's why I
powerful
feel like
social
it's
structure.
worse. like
Like,
it's
you can-
definitely this is worse.
If you can do shit with crosses and no one really cares because like Christians
Yeah.
aren't, they're prominent groups.
yeah, yeah.
Like they're persecuted
And so
in
that's
some
why I feel
situations,
like
but
that, like,
not broadly.
Some people were like, but they use crucifixes and other stuff, and I'm just like, but that's not the
Yeah,
same
that's not the same.
as this.
Because
and
like
so-
indigenous people do not have the same cultural power as like Christian
Yeah,
groups.
and
or,
so
like,
that's
the
why I
Catholic
feel
Church.
like it's kind of wrong. It's a little wrong. So I think that they should have paid attention because I think it's a little wrong.
Hello there.
So yeah, and so I think that the cross argument is not a good one. I don't think that it is. But he has it, so I don't know what they're gonna do about it now.
And they also do voodoo dolls,
Yeah,
but no one
that's
ever
the
cares
biggest
about.
mistake.
No one gives a shit
I was
about
like, what are they
appropriating
doing?
voodoo shit. You never hear people talk about that though. Or maybe it's just because we don't live in New Orleans where like you get a lot of like traditional African spirituality.
It doesn't help that the character is morally ambiguous. Yeah, I feel like that's the other thing is that they may also be evil, so like we don't know about that. But yeah, I think it's kind of weird.
I don't know. Part of me is also like,
Part of-
yeah, it looks like
like,
one,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
also so different.
Part of me chalks this up to Japan, but then there's the voodoo dolls, and I'm just like, guys.
But also, they're not like exactly voodoo dolls, and like
they look enough like voodoo dolls.
But like totemism is a prominent thing in a lot of cultures, so I'm sure there's some like legitimacy towards it. And at the end of the I don't know.
I think though,
I think that if you're upset, that's
Like-
fair, but I don't know. It didn't take me out of it too much.
like with the chat, what they're saying, I think that treating people equally though means equally respecting their stuff. And if people think that this is not respecting their stuff, like their religion or something, like I think
And also,
that that's
People keep on bringing up Evangelion because Evangelion
uses
takes a
the
lot
crosses or
takes
whatever,
a lot
right?
from Christian.
But it's not the same.
But
guys.
the thing
It's not
is
the
that
same
like
thing.
Christianity is not going away. Like Christianity still exists
Yeah.
as its own force. like Christianity, it's not being appropriated in the same capacity as indigenous spirituality, which is dying out and has been persecuted, at least in North America.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that the Japanese audience probably doesn't know that.
No.
But I do think that maybe, given the fact that this is a partnership with Rooster Teeth, if they were like, maybe not. But I think that this is the issue. I don't think that Rooster Teeth realized either, because historically, Rooster Teeth has not done a very good job realizing those sorts of things. So I think that they probably dropped the ball and didn't realize, because they don't have that awareness still. Because that has been a problem with RWBY in the past, not having an awareness of those sorts of things and those things sort of slipping by. So yeah, I totally agree with Hunter. It's not the same thing as the crucifixes, guy. In the past, it's far past
I'm not saying that Christians are not persecuted. That occurs. I'm not saying they aren't persecuted in the past as well. However, it's been a while since the Roman Inquisitions of Catholic people or Christians. Yeah. It's been a while, and I guess because we're also Canadian, so for us it's more prominent to our history. Yeah, exactly. Our unfortunate history.
Is current history.
Yes.
If you were in the ancient times, if you were in ancient Greece or whatever.
And also, let's be honest, if you're an American, if you're a Canadian, if you're in Japan, you're not gonna be persecuted for your Christian religious beliefs.
I mean, that's
you
the other
will
thing
get
is
shit for your indigenous spirituality.
We have Catholic schools.
Yeah.
Public Catholic school system. Literally
publicly
church
funded,
and state.
Yeah.
Publicly funded church
Catholic
and
schools.
state.
Canada, we're gonna move on. At the end, we'll agree, it is what it is. It has its problematic image. We're not gonna be the person that decides what's okay.
But I do feel like that we would be amiss if we didn't use our platform to at least bring up
acknowledge
the concerns
You got to acknowledge
the indigenous fans who are indigenous and not just white people complaining.
What I will say, though, is that it does look cool.
It looks cool.
Like the lattice, it does look cool. It must be said. The outcome is pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I like the staff. I do think that the little crystal things could have been. We could have done without it.
I do broadly like Shion's design. I do like the lattice work. I do think it's neat.
But
I do like the idea of going into dreams. But
as we said, but I think Hunter kind of hit the nail on the head. And so, if you disagree, that's fine. But I just thought that we should bring it up.
Acknowledge it.
Because I think that person that brought it up deserves to be acknowledged, and I'll probably retweet their tweet later. So yeah, I think that this scene with John was kind of funny.
It's pretty adorable because they have little carrot swords.
And it's all the stuff on his onesie and everything. So I thought that.
And I like how it's and that's also Pumpkin Pete, but it's also just it's he's a rabbit as you're a bunny, you're not scary.
Little
which is funny because if you've ever seen a bunny, those things are fucking fierce.
It's Beastars again.
They've got big murderous teeth.
Yeah,
they're scary. Don't fuck with a rabbit.
I like how
and he turns into a little bunny baby.
And we got little baby bunny
I love him so much. I just want to pick him up and hold him.
I know. I saw art of that with Pyrrha. And I like how he sort of
I'm scared. I have never had stronger maternal feelings than when I see little sad bunny. I don't want a child. I've been on HRT for a year and a half. I can't have a child. I want that child.
But John's not a faunus because there's two traits. He's just a bunny.
He's just a little wabbit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's supposed to represent that he's scared and weak and he's not a carnivore. It's Beastars, guys. It's Beastars all over again. So yeah, I like how Pyrrha comes to save him,
someone involved with Madoka Magica was involved in this show, right?
Oh,
a writer or something. Because this feels like going into a dream.
It's a nightmare thing.
Yeah, that's the same
thing
as Madoka Magica, the palaces where it's a person's insecurities and preying on them, and it's all weird and dreamlike.
Yeah.
And you could say that it's ripping it off, but you can rip yourself off, and two, Madoka Magica is inspired, amazing.
It's classic.
If you're gonna rip something off, rip off something pretty good.
Yeah. And so I like that, and I love Pyrrha coming to save him and everything, and so I think that here's the implication here,
older sister, so Saffron, which I was excited to see her,
Because we'll talk about this later, but what I'm assuming is that Bunny Jean is almost like what John turned into. Dictator Weiss, right?
It's your
Bunny Jean is the internal self.
Yes.
And so what I'm assuming is that because Jean is so weak, the bunny just, we rescued, we're good, we're whatever, right? We're good to go. I'm assuming that Weiss is going to be Dictator Weiss, and that the rest of the season will be in her nightmare, and it will be bad. That is basically what I'm trying to say.
That's what I suspect as well.
Jean was weak, and they even say this, right? Like, they say that Jean was weak because Jean...
Oh, look at the little photo and the little guy.
Yeah, and so this is a spinning wheel again, so
which is very
Beauty,
which
Aurora,
is very Sleeping Beauty.
Vibes,
You're
right?
good for
I'm pretty sure I'm right. So yeah,
I love how everyone's standing around respectively and their friends are caught in a big, like, lattice.
Okay, so how do they do
Shibari
this?
lattice.
Right? Like...
It's magic. I don't know. It's like, it's their semblance, presumably.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, the phone, they're calling Pyrrha from inside of the dream. Like, okay, bitch.
You know, it's what
Fine.
it is.
So I thought that was funny, though. I just thought it was funny. I'm not complaining. I thought it was funny. See, the other reason why I'm sussing them, like, in terms of, like, Maleficent, is because Maleficent has a raven called Diablo, and the raven is, like, a crow. Like, these could have been colored feathers, but instead they're black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Just a little sus.
I mean, the black is... I feel like the colored feather would be more...
But it could have been white. Right?
I mean, but, like, also the black just works better.
I know.
It's not like he's wearing a headdress.
I'm just saying that the feathers, it's interesting because it could be a Maleficent, like, reference.
Oh, yeah.
Did you not listen to anything I just
didn't.
said?
Sorry.
Okay.
I also have ADHD. But, like, you're right, the black
the
Diablo
like
and
the crow and everything. So I'm saying they could have made them a different color. So I think that the feathers...
But then the feathers on the staff
but
are
they're
like
not
white.
feathers. They're, like...
Charms, I guess,
I don't know. They're, like, big, pointy things. I don't know. Yeah, and so, yeah, I think they say that later, though, the line about John. Oh, my God. Are we... we're at a half an hour. We're good. We're making good time. I think we're about halfway through. We'll be okay. Oh, my God. I'm so hungry. Arnold, can I have McDonald's? I know that you're not in charge of that. I'm kidding. I'm actually...
So help me God, if someone rings the door and your mom comes down here with food.
Well, because we didn't have anything for dinner last night, so I don't even know what we're gonna eat today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have leftovers.
The fact that you don't know how to cook.
We don't have leftovers. So I'm like, Arnold, can you tell my mom to get me McDonald's?
You are in your 20s and you don't. Imagine if Arnold fucked with you and, like, sent you a fish fillet.
I know.
Or something terrible.
It's like, Cal, your McDonald's is here, but it's like, I don't know, it's a salad. It's like a chicken Caesar salad or something.
I'll fucking take the chicken Caesar salad over fish fillet.
Anyway, I thought that this was good, like, seeing, like, Jean being the test run, I thought was really good.
Look at my little baby.
I thought it was cute.
You didn't get Velvet, but you got Bunny John, and that just is good.
And see, now he turns back to normal, so I'm assuming that with Weiss it's gonna be this, but, like, longer. Also,
oh God,
like,
the open heart surgery is pretty creepy.
I don't know what the fuck, like, this is kind of more magic at this point, but anyway.
Also, can we talk about how rippling Sun was, and then how, like, non-rippling
I mean, it's good,
John
though,
is?
there's contrast. And so I just like how, like, they
I hope
caught
later
the
on we see him
Grimm.
and he's rippling.
The Grimm also kind of looks like a flower, which could be Sleeping Beauty related too, because she was Briar Rose, right? That was like the code name for Aurora was Briar Rose. It looks like a rose.
Sure.
You know,
it has thorns like a rose.
It has thorns, exactly. You know, we're picking it all up, right? And it has thorns like the thorns in Maleficent's castle. That was what was on John's body, and like the thorns that she puts along the castle and everything. And so, yeah, I do love Xion, like, again, pointy things that didn't need to be there aside. I do like their design a lot. You know, the sort of, like, Final Fantasy mage vibe they have going on. So I thought that was really, really cool. So now we figured out what the magical banana was, because I don't know if you guys remember this, but Hunter and I looked at this and we were like, what the fuck is this?
And
right?
it's a seed.
And Dan was like, oh, is it like the piece of a mirror or something? Like, we weren't
Which,
really
like,
sure.
seed is also what that was a thing in Madoka.
Yeah.
I feel like,
so,
also, it looks like a metapod.
They
like
have a bunch of, like, Japanese art on their computer for some reason, which is, like, random. But yeah, and then, like, we see the spinning wheel again, so definitely Maleficent Aurora vibes going on, right? And so, yeah, like, they all take turns looking at it, like, the educational experience, right? But that must mean there's more than one, unless
I'm shirtless, all my friends, and I'm, like, tied up in purple string. What have I done?
I know, I was thinking that, too.
We've all woken up in a situation not unlike this.
There's more than one, because Weiss is already getting, like, nightmared, but that pod is captured. You know what I mean? So, like, it must be, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there must be multiple Grimm.
It's like he I don't know, does he take it someplace and release it?
Yeah, I thought that he may release it and infect Weiss, but Weiss is already infected. Kill it, or like, Weiss is infected already, right? So
maybe it's like the Ghostbusters where they catch the ghost and they put it in the ghost containment facility.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, like, I don't think that he took that one to infect Weiss, because that wouldn't make any sense, because Weiss is already infected, you know what I mean? So that's like a point against Shion being evil. At the same time, I do think that they're evil somehow. I think it's like the Cube, like, it seems like he's here to help you, but like, it's not, you know? And so I think this was an interesting line for Yang, just because it's like Adam getting, like, cutting off her arm, foreshadowing, question mark? Like, I don't know. Like, I thought that line was like something. But yeah, I liked this line with Shion. But yeah, like, look at how they're looking. Like, they're kind of looking away, you know, which makes them kind of sus. Like, they don't look confidently. They're like, like, I don't know. It's just, it's sussy. Everything's a little sus, you know? And so, yeah, like...
The semblance is very magical, which I feel like makes it, like...
I don't know what the semblance is.
Because it's like his semblance is that he can go into people's dream when he uses this particular weapon.
But Yatsuhashi can go into people's memories. Like,
I guess that's fair.
You know, he can't go in and look at them, but maybe he could
I guess
one
so.
day. You know, if he expands a semblance,
I just feel like we need one explanation of, like, my semblance is da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that. I like this, though. She's got her own thorns to keep the grim out. Like, that was nice. That was funny. We you know, the humor's still there. I'm trying to convince Hunter the humor's still there.
The Vital Festival.
Bad. Yeah, we see the
I want this guy to be voiced by Bernie Burns again.
We do wonder if this is going to be voiced by Bernie, but yeah, we're going to go by this scene a little quickly, just because, like, it's basically
because it's basically just, like, Weiss does a racism,
expressions are good.
Blake does a not all racism.
But let's talk about Sun, okay?
Because, like...
God damn, like, they made Sun was never sexy, okay? I'm just gonna be honest, Sun was never sexy, not to me. Like, and somebody did a comparison of the scene on Twitter, and you can see how unsexy Sun is in the original 3D animation. I'm sorry, but you can. Like, if you look, there was somebody posted a side-by-side of Sun winking at Blake versus, like, this wink at Blake. Like, this is so charming, whereas, like, for some reason, Sun just looks like an old man, like, in the, like, weirdly, like, old and unnatural.
They didn't use the slow-mo guy slowed up, but, like, yeah, look at his little face.
He's a little cat face, and he looks so hot. Sun is hot, guys. And this isn't even the only time he's hot. He's hot other places, too. And so I thought that was great. I thought that was amazing. And so this is interesting because instead of, like, we must, what do you call? Observe him? She's like, more racist this time. She's like, we'll go catch him to show him how bad he is, which I think is, you know, fucked up, obviously.
A little bit.
But now let's talk about...
this man has abs on abs.
Oh, yeah,
but the real hero of our story...
The real hero of our story...
Well, I like how she just gets knocked right over like that.
She's so cute. She looks so much like a little baby, like, Barbie, like, doll. Like, you know what I mean? She looks like one of those dolls you used to have, like a Cabbage Patch Kid or something. Like, she's just so cute. She's much cuter than everybody else. Like, she's adorable. She's like, I would die for her. Like, I want to protect her. She's so cute. Like, I can't even explain. Like, she's so much cuter. It's like, she's cute in the show, but she's so much cuter. Like, my baby. She's a little baby. She's so cute. I do think this was interesting, though, how they hit her eyes.
Yeah,
she's
she's
very robot-y. She says, grin, like, you know what I mean? And then she says something like that later. And, like,
I love how, like, they make her especially robot-y.
While she's going, like, up in the air, she says swoosh. Like, she says all of her. I do that, too, though, to be honest. Oh, man. But, yeah, Penny is so
How
adorable.
touching. I have made a friend.
And she's so
And they didn't
cute.
add the... And they didn't add the is she a man part,
yeah, they took that out.
Which is nice.
They took out the is she a man.
She's nice.
See, some of the humor was good to leave behind, right?
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely, but...
Yeah, Penny just looks like
but
a
also,
beautiful
I like to imagine that Penny is just very trans and was, like, wanted, I don't know, but didn't have the language, I don't know.
Oh,
it's not good, I'm glad they took it out.
Damn, and so, yeah, like, Sun is sexy. This scene, the facial expressions are good again. You know, I'm hungry, so sorry if I'm cutting this one a little bit short, but I'm starving. I'm so hungry. Then we have...
Watch you slow down when Roman gets on screen.
Well, Roman was only on... Well, we'll talk about that. We do have to talk about that. But yeah, the facial expressions were really good here. I just love this scene. I can't wait to see it voice acted again, you know.
There's no such thing as pure evil.
And I thought that I thought that this line was, like, raw. Like, this was so much
it was
more
better
raw
than, like,
compared to
the
what
original.
was there before. And it, like, Weiss is racist, but she has, like, a point.
Oh, no, racists have a point.
No, not like that. But, like, you feel
That's,
like, how many funerals you have to attend before you're traumatized?
People that are fucked up sometimes come from, like, these fucked up situations.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just thought that this line was wrong.
And, like,
it
she's
doesn't mean she's right.
in the wrong.
She's wrong.
But it's an explanation of where she comes to her.
But I feel like that makes her a bit more empathetic than before.
I do think it makes, because it does a better job of explaining her ennui or her pain.
Exactly, right?
You're still a racist, though, but that's okay. She's still racist.
But I feel like that they tried to make her a bit more empathetic.
Defending racists, you're misandering. Honestly, I don't.
I'm so canceled. It's so bad. Oh boy, but you guys know what I mean. They definitely make her like more empathetic this time.
Yeah.
Right? Because like going to that many funerals as a child would definitely traumatize you in a way. And so I feel like that they, they made that better. Bitterness born from strife, not selfishness. Yeah, and so I feel like that just changes things, right? And then, like, obviously we have Blake running away again. I do like... Okay, so this is a good change. Instead of Sun being creepy and finding Blake in the middle of the night when he has no reason to be there, he actually finds her on one of the buildings, which is less creepy.
Because he's also hiding from the cops.
Exactly, right? And so I think that this is a great change because it makes Sun less creepy.
I like how Sun immediately clocked that Blake was a faunus.
Yeah, and I think that that's good too. I just think that this was a lot better.
His abs have abs.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
And so I think that that's good. Like, I think that it was much better for, like, the black sun that happens in the first couple volumes for him not to be creeping on her. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like Black Sun's really only prominent in the first, like...
3 volumes. He winks at her during the tournament.
I guess he does.
Yeah. And so I think that that's good. Like, that they're fixing the things with Sun that made him so creepy and why I didn't like the ship. Like, now it's like, okay, well, he just happens to find her on the rooftop. In the daylight. That's normal. So I like how they cut out the whole thing of them going back to the room and still arguing, even though that was kind of like a funny joke that they're arguing like
They've been arguing for a long time. Although
they undid making they undid making Sun a stalker, is what I'm trying to say.
But what I do kind of feel one thing is that because it all seemingly happens so quickly, like, there's less time apart.
True.
Like, I like that Weiss gets more shit.
Some people think
from
that
Yang, and I think that's good.
change happened too fast. You know? Like, some people think...
they fixed racism in 15 minutes.
But you have to keep in mind that Yang's dialogue is a lot stronger
like, she
than
calls
it was
her...
in
and,
the
like,
original.
I bet you Weiss has never had to confront that before. She's probably never been called a bigot for what she said about faunus people. So now she's confronting that.
Because
that works better.
Being a huntress means that you have a certain moral code, I guess, if that makes sense. And, like, the legacy of, like, Nicholas Schnee and everything. Like, to Weiss, being a huntress is, something to improve her family legacy. Yeah. But I would also think, and though they didn't expressly make this point, I could imagine that this is so, being a huntress goes directly against being a bigot, or at least
You'd hope so.
You'd hope. So I feel like that even though they didn't say that part, and maybe that this is just headcanon and that doesn't actually, like, improve it for some people, whatever, but I would tell you to look at it this way. Could it not be that Weiss is realizing that being a bigot is incompatible with being a huntress, and she's never thought of it that way before, and that's why she, like, changes so quickly, right? You know what I mean? Because she's realizing that improving the Schnee family legacy is inherently incompatible, right? Like, incompatible with bigotry against anyone, because huntsmen are supposed to be, like, saving all people, or, like, protecting everyone. You know what I mean? So I think maybe, Hunter, you're just, like, disassociating
you're right.
So I think that maybe that's why Weiss changes. Like, some people think she changed too fast, but I think that's...
She's confronted by
it's like logic. She's confronted by logic. It's like, you can't be X
you can't logic your way out of racism.
Right.
We wouldn't have racism anymore if you could do that. But the fact that she's for the first time in her life getting pushback from it. Yeah. I think that's important.
But I don't know. I can't think of a good example right now, but it would be like if you were like Cal, but you can't be X unless you do Y.
Sometimes you get checked and you internalize it. And I think Weiss got checked and she internalized it.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if it were me and somebody
her beliefs are not stubbornness, it's a lack of understanding of perhaps a wider world. Yeah. And maybe that is an optimistic view of racist people. My experience, I think it's
just Weiss. I think Weiss is just different, you know? But, like, I hope that you guys understand what I mean. Like, I know that if there was logic, racism wouldn't exist, but I'm just saying, like, it would be like if Hunter was like, Cal, like, you can't do X, you can't execute X if you are not Y, right? Like, when you put it that way, it kind of makes sense, I guess. And so if she's realizing that her beliefs are contradictory next to each other, you know, I think, and there's also that fact too, Jeremy, is that like deep down, part of her is saying that she hasn't really changed. And so it's like, she's worried that she hasn't changed, maybe, or like she's worried that she can't change. And so I think that that's interesting too. There's still conflict. We didn't fix racism today. There's still a conflict after where she's wondering if she can really change.
What I thought was going to... Oh, and we have another Coraline Weiss.
I like how you're calling it Coraline.
That's what I'm calling it. It's the Coraline Grimm.
Weiss.
What I thought would be interesting if instead of her being like, yeah, it's okay, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, please don't do this thing again, we care about you. If she was like, kept being racist and that pushed her further into this destructive... thing
I think though she's destructive enough. Yeah, you can't save everyone if you can't save Faunus, or if you don't think Faunus are worth saving, right? Are equal value as people
Unless
to
you're
save.
Cal, but that's neither here.
No! Okay. Sun is hot again. Hello.
Really?
He's
just an
so
absolute
hot.
smoke show.
And like Blake is too. Like
look at
this
this
man. Look at his face.
Look at this Abercrombie
like,
and French model.
Like who did this?
This is ridiculous.
You know what I mean? He's so
who
hot.
allowed
and
you?
His skin tone is actually nice. Like
no, he was tan.
No, he was tan, but then they changed him in his Maya model. They made him white. So I'm saying that his skin tone is back to what it was supposed to be again.
No.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, they made him a lot lighter in Volume 6. They did. I swear to God they did. And so now they actually made Sun have his melanin back. That's what I mean by his skin is nicer, by the way. I didn't phrase that in the best way. His skin is nice again because he has melanin again, right? So yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that. They look pretty similar.
Look at him.
They look pretty similar. Also,
turn
my
on your
power is
brightness.
like dead, so the power won't go.
But yeah, like, no. It's definitely, if you eye dropped it, Hunter,
I'm sure
it's definitely,
but there's also like
the
lighting.
melanin is
But like
back
also
now.
Lighting is a thing, like it's brighter.
Lighting can't do that, Hunter.
You know.
They just made him white.
Maybe,
sorry.
I don't know.
They just
Perhaps.
made him whiter. So I hope that next time we see Sun, he should have a tan because he's in Vacuo, and then they can bring his tan back, okay?
That's fair. Maybe some freckles.
Yeah, sun freckles or something. And so, yeah, I'm just saying, they finally brought back Sun's melanin. Maybe that's why I find him hotter. I don't know. So anyway, like, we don't have time to unpack all that. Can we talk about, though?
How this man is eating French fries and a steak.
A steak?
I think that's cut up sausages. A salad.
Sausages.
Some butter and jam.
Tomato. Strawberry jam for a croissant.
And another
bread.
piece of
what
bread.
What meal is that? Orange juice. It's like
that's
a cup of tea.
That's a really diverse dinner.
I know, exactly.
That's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But like, Sun also is from Vacuo, and we know that Vacuo like food security is like questionable. So
or like maybe he would be able to get some
totally in character. We traded gunchucks for melanin, guys. Don't even talk to me about that yet. We're gonna get there in a minute. I'm so hungry. I'm so depressed. Oh man. Anyway. Oops.
Just open your Discord.
I know, I just opened my Discord. I don't know if they saw
You
it.
have ADHD, because you just saw, like, the notification and be like, ooh, Discord.
Well, yeah, I think that it was covered. I think it was covered by this.
I mean, you didn't see anything embarrassing, so you're fine.
You guys didn't see anything, right? It was just Keith and his obsidian stuff. Anyway.
Can't believe you opened it. My God, you have ADHD. Anyways.
Well, I was checking to see if Arnold bought me McDonald's or not. That's why I opened it, because I was curious if Arnold was actually going to buy it or if he was going to wait after we were done
if Arnold
streaming.
bought you McDonald's, I would hope I would also get McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first time he's had a good meal, man. He's been on that ship for who knows how long. So
yeah, also, how did he afford that? He couldn't afford it.
He stowed away. Oh, wait.
You didn't have you stow away.
Yeah, Blake paid for it.
Fucking Blake. I feel bad. Imagine if he, like, dines and dashed. I wouldn't support him.
I think they did dine and dash because, like, they figure out that the goods are getting delivered and then they fucking leave, right? So, yeah, I thought that was hilarious for Sun to have that much food. I loved Penny popping up again. I thought that was great. I thought that was really cute. And, like, she slowly turns her head. Like,
she's so mechanical, and it's, like, cute but unnerving. It's great.
The roboticness and everything. I thought that was great. Like, I thought that this whole scene was great. They didn't do Is She a Man? So, you know, we were
It's an
spared.
improvement.
We were spared of the Is She a Man line again. But Penny is just so cute. She's beautiful and I love her so much. And I just did a little baby. She's just adorable. And see, again, I love how Yang is like going, like, this is why Weiss changed. Yang fucking bullied her, okay? It was necessary, but like, you know, she bullied her. So I think that, yeah, this is what happened. Like, people are like, oh, well, why did Weiss change? Like, why did Weiss change? Because Yang is fucking, I bet
Just
you were lying to my sister. Like, she's fucking nailing her. Why wouldn't you, right? Exactly. Like, look at the why is Yang's head cut off so much? Look at the look on her face, bro. Like, yeah, she's fucking mad.
She looks like surprised Pikachu.
I mean? And so, yeah, I really like this scene, too, of them getting
And she
into
just
each other's
admits that
faces.
she's in over her head.
And, like, that she's emotionally, like, compromised and everything. So I like this deviation, because now we understand.
But also, she's, like, upset over things that, like, she shouldn't be, like, you shouldn't be upset that, like, you should take your lumps. You didn't become the leader, and your friend's a faunus. Don't cry over it.
Well, she's also upset she didn't get on the same team as Pyrrha, which I can see as being a disappointment.
I know, but it's also just, like, she's not, like, that's not her learning a lesson, you know?
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm just
just
saying,
her
she's
having
sad.
a tantrum.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think that's why, like...
And like Yang's like, oh, this fucking idiot. Like,
I
she's
kind of
like...
understand. I don't know. I kind of empathize because you make a plan, and you're like, well, nothing's working out. And remember
then
that
your plan doesn't
she's
follow.
making the plan to
But her
uphold
plan
her family
is
legacy.
a little bit racist.
Yes, I know that, but I'm saying that, like, from Weiss's perspective, right? Even though Weiss is bad, she made this plan so she could uphold her grandfather's legacy, which she cares about very much. Now things are not going to plan, right? And so that's what's upsetting her. So I think that she's, like, not just throwing a tantrum, but she's genuinely afraid that she's disappointing the legacy of her dead grandfather, Hunter. I don't know. I just have a bit more empathy for Weiss than I think you may, but yeah. And
I have empathy for Weiss, but she has to, like... But, like,
I don't have empathy for
there's
racism.
tough love, but there's tough love. Like, I'm sorry.
That, like, being disappointed that she wasn't on Pyrrha's team. People are on Pyrrha's team, so I think that's reasonable. It wasn't like it was unattainable. It just didn't happen.
To her.
I don't know. I love how Hunter just doesn't fill the silence.
I don't know. You're drinking. I don't know. I feel like ultimately I give it a pass, and there's more interesting stuff that I like that they add to us.
Yeah.
But on the topic of things that they take away instead of things they
Look
add.
at him. He's so hot, though. I'll allow it because he's so hot. But you know what would have made him hotter? Actually fighting Roman. So I do think that this is what takes the episode from like a 9 down to like an 8. Or like a 7. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say it, okay? The fact that they cut this fight.
But they kept the Borbus
But they kept
fight.
some of the other stuff, like the Borbatusk, which was not really as necessary, to be honest. Like, Weiss could have easily just been mad at something else. Like, I think that this is very sad. And I do actually genuinely wonder if it's because Cal had to drink her water the second she switched to the sunshine. We have been robbed.
Thirsty.
We have been bamboozled. We have been swindled. However, I do have a theory. I think it's Sun's gunchucks. I think that his gunchucks may have been too hard to animate in 2D because I don't know. Like, I don't know,
man. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were doing it in the 80s. I'm sure that they could.
More complicated compared to that, Hunter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I know the anime's prioritizing Weiss, and so it definitely makes sense. I get it. I do wonder, though, if it could be because the gunchucks are really hard to animate or something. Because, like, in 3D, they wouldn't be as hard because you could keep track of where they go.
Well, no, but they turned it into 2D, I think, when they did that. Insert, like, when RWBY spins her sword, it goes into, like, a 2D.
Does it?
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys think? I think that it's sad.
I mean, obviously, they didn't want to expend a budget and the time on the fight scene, which is sad
because
it's a
the
good
fight
fight
would
scene.
have been great. And
Mind you, I do like that little bit at the end where, I mean, we're gonna see it when...
I wish they just had a little bit.
That's,
Like a little baby bit. I do like the sunset, and I like, oh, you spoil Ruby. Well, that's the only reason why she always looks for praise, right? And so I like this. I like how Weiss is kind of like,
Why don't you stop bragging about being the perfect teammate and actually, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that she just, she went for the jugular with Weiss.
Yeah.
No wonder she's thinking about, like, changing.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
sometimes you need someone to call you out on your shit. And sometimes you can grow as a person through that.
I don't want them to cut it, though, Dan. I wanted to see the cool fight scene. Like, I get why they cut it, but I don't like that they cut it. Does that make sense? Like, I can like and respect that they cut it. Like, this episode...
I can understand why they cut it, but I don't
theory, this episode's a 10, right? But, like, emotionally, because they took out that scene, this episode's a 7. Does that make sense? Like, logically, this episode is just as good, if not better in some areas compared to the last two. But emotionally, I really wanted to see the gunchuck fight. Does that make sense? Like, from an objective perspective, this episode is still good. But from a Calxiyn perspective, it is kind of a 7 because they did that.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so here's the other weird thing, and we'll talk about this when we get to the end, but anyway. Roman, look at him.
He's our
and
baby.
his little face. Look at his hair, and how his hair does the swoosh. It just looks so good. I love his hair.
I was waiting for you to notice how the breeze gently... But, like, this image of, like, cute Penny in a field of destruction... That is like funny. This is memeable as shit because she's just a monster.
I will say that I do. And see, she says swoosh again, so I thought that was really funny.
Battle complete. I love her so.
Cute.
I am never not gonna be a Penny stan.
I know exactly, and I like how they're just like, what the fuck. I thought that was pretty funny, and I like again this conversation. The lighting is beautiful, right? Like I like the conversation that they have. It's pretty much the same. So again, we'll just go buy it because I want some McDonald's and I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. I can't do this without eating again. But yeah, I just thought that everybody's facial expressions again were nice, as we've been saying this entire time. I thought that was great. I liked I don't know, the Weiss and Blake like scene that they had right here, and like how Sun is kind of involved, I guess. You know, when she doesn't say something racist again here to Sun. She doesn't say like talking to some trash, someone else. Like, she actually just, like,
fucking monkey boy.
She actually seems to give Sun a nice expression. Like, she's trying to, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, man. Roman's actually talking about Cal's monstrous fangirling.
It's not fangirling. It's thirsting.
It's simping.
Like the fucking Sahara Desert you are.
Man, and so, yeah, I like that. And I like how Sun is just kind of like,
he would have a wallet chain. Look at this guy.
And so, yeah, I just love them. And I thought this was cute to see Blake get emotional again and all of that stuff. I thought that this scene was, again, really cute.
I also feel like because this is going to be a very Weiss-centered show, that this is not the last we see of Weiss internalized racism.
I mean, Queendom exists. We're gonna get to the Queendom, right? This is gonna happen in the Queendom. That's why Blake looks like a furry. It has claws and stuff and a tail and everything. I'm pretty sure on her outfit,
I feel like, this is not the last we see.
Yeah, I think this is true though. I didn't lie about wanting one because she wanted that sisterhood with Winter and maybe didn't get that. And so then we get the internalized Weiss, right? It takes all your strength to pretend not to care.
And then that turn, and then. The lights, it's a stadium, she's, performing.
Yeah, exactly, a reference to her singing again. Yeah. And, she says all this, but, look at her, and then she bows, which is the funny part of it, is that she bows
because it's, doing her performance, and so maybe this is a version of her that's still, trapped in her family and has to be cute and sing.
And, look at this. So, here's the thing with this. I have two theories.
This feels very anime.
Okay? Theory 1. The Grimm is going to... I'm not going to say possess, but it's going to live in Weiss a little longer and make her see more hallucinations and make her more irritable.
Because John was a weak aura, so it happened quick and you were able to pull him out quick.
And so I wonder if next episode is not going to start in the Queendom universe, but we are going to see some of Volume 2, and somewhere around Mountain Glen, when Weiss gets defeated, is when she just gets defeated and doesn't wake up. You know that scene where she's fighting against the White Fang Lieutenant?
Yes.
That could be the trigger for her, too, to fight against the White Fang Lieutenant. Yeah. She gets knocked out and she doesn't wake up, which means that we could see Neo. This entire theory is for us just to see Neo and Cinder and Mercury and Emerald. They're in Volume 2, obviously. We wouldn't see Team Coffee, though, until after the Mountain Glen, if we reach that part. So that's theory 1, is that we will get to see some of Volume 2. Now, the weird thing is that Jeff, who is the official Queendom would cover volumes 1 and 2, or the first through couple episodes or something. And so, if he said that, he's either wrong, which is a little embarrassing, to be honest, but because he said the first 3 episodes, and volume 2 was definitely, or he's mistaken, and episode 4 will do some volume.
And I suspect
stuff.
episode 4 is going to go straight to like Mountain Glen.
Team Coffee comes back right before Ruby leaves from Mountain Glen. Yeah, Jeff is the head of licensing and consumer products. So he said that the first few episodes covered volume 1 and 2.
Maybe he thinks that maybe he thinks that this is one episode, and
maybe
that
right.
The
And
next
so
one
that's
is
what
going
I'm
to be the
saying. So
second
that's
episode.
incorrect. So either he's wrong, which I hope he's not wrong, or we will get some of volume 2, which leaves me to believe, right, that we will see Neo. No, that we will see Team Coffee and stuff, and like the Grim will kind of slowly infect Weiss. Like maybe she sees hallucinations at first, like Blake being bad. You know what I mean? Like maybe she fights the White Fang Lieutenant, and then it turns into Blake. Like the White Fang Lieutenant takes its mask off and it's Blake or something. Like maybe she just starts hallucinating until she actually is defeated and falls into sleep. And that's like midway through episode 4 or something. That way we can see Team fucking Coffee, bitch! Okay, so that's theory 1. Is that we will do some of volume 2. Theory 2 is that next episode, we're gonna be right in the Queendom.
It's gonna be like what the fuck is even happening? It's right in the Queendom,
we have no idea. Like, Ruby and everyone is waking up or something.
And Ruby's a college kid and she's like skateboarding or whatever.
Right, and so I feel like he's either wrong or he's confused, and I hope he's just confused, because I would really like to see Team Coffee, okay? So, with that in mind, I'm really hoping he's confused. So yeah, Weiss is in a coma after Mountain Glen. She gets defeated by the White Fang Lieutenant, and they drag her ass out. And that way we get to see Team Coffee and Neo, so Neo can be in the show. That's option 1. Option 2, and honestly, I do think option 2 is what they're going to go with, so I think that we just need to take some copium.
Take your lumps.
And realize that Cinder and Emerald and Mercury and Neo and Team Coffee are not going to be in the show. Because I do think that next episode we are going to wake up and they're already going to be in the world. Like, they're already going to be in her nightmare. They may have a flashback to explain how they got into her nightmare.
I think they're going to it's going to be like WandaVision, if you've seen that, where you start in the fantasy world and then you start to learn how other people got into it.
So I don't think we're going to see Team Coffee. I don't think that we're going to see Neo. I'm keeping that as my expectation so I don't get disappointed. We're just going to have to fucking cope, okay? And the other thing is, I am looking for somebody that can replicate this art style. If you are like a mimicker in terms of like art and stuff, because everyone has their own art style, right? Like, I don't think that I could ask Keith to do this, and that's not like a drag on Keith. That's just like, you know what I mean? It's different art style. If you are like an art mimic person and you can replicate this, I will pay you money to draw Team Coffee and Neo in this art style. So if you know anybody like that, please contact me.
You're gonna go broke.
So I'm just saying, because I would like to see them in this art style, and I don't think that the show is going to do it. So if you are one of those people that can copy an art style perfectly, and you would like to draw Neo and Team Coffee in exchange for money, please contact me on twitter.com. Okay? Anyways, yes. I got a third route, but I'll wait to talk about that at the moment. Okay, but yeah, so I don't think we're gonna see them, and I'm sad. I retweeted someone who did Velvet. Oh my god, damn! Let's go look at it, everybody. I wonder if I can take a screenshot of it and very quickly drag it into the stream, because we're done. I mean, like, we're finished, right? So
I mean,
like,
first you gotta see it.
Hunter, look, we hit 4 o'clock. I told you that everything would be okay. We kept each episode in an hour, even though during RWBY proper we used to go for 3 hours on the same amount of time. Yes, bitch.
That's cute.
Yes, bitch. Oh my god. Okay, I'll put it in the chat instead of grabbing the picture because that'll take too long. Oh yeah, it's the same person that drew Neo in the same art style earlier. Okay. I may pay them to do Neo and the rest of Team Coffee. I don't know if they're watching this. I don't know if are their commissions open? Listen.
Wow,
the commissions
big commissions open sign.
Well, they're wide open,
not gonna think about it. You're already there. Let's be honest.
I know, but I don't have
ourselves.
the money for this.
You're gonna go broke.
Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun. We only have another couple screenshots left, I think.
This is creepy.
Yeah, I thought that this was good. And we get, again, that Maleficent vibe of, like, the thorns and the castle and the thorns. And you see how much bigger this Grim is, right?
Yes, because it's
more
bigger,
powerful.
more
It's going to
angry
leech
one.
off of her aura a lot more. And that's where we leave it. So we talked about the two alternate routes that we have. We either start in the fantasy and then get flashbacks to reality, as you said, or we get Volume 2, we get Mountain Glen, and Weiss gets knocked out at Mountain Glen, and that's what, like, takes her down, like, for real this time. But that's basically it, guys. My throat hurts, and I'm starving. So I think that we have to say goodbye for today. We will be making a theory on Aurora things.
Point.
We will be making a theory about Xion being evil. We will make, like, continued theories, but not today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for attending Calxiyn's Royal Court once again. Remember that if you guys want to see all of our reactions to episode 1, 2, and 3, they are up on Patreon right now. We don't know when they're going to be out on YouTube, so if you don't want to wait, which, no, you don't want to wait, because, like, look at this. Look at all the stuff
You're impatient.
we
We know
probably
you.
reacted to, right? And so you guys should totally check that out, like, the Patreon uploads of the reactions, so you don't need to wait, because we honestly have no idea how long it's going to be. They may be on Patreon forever, for all I know. So, yeah, you know, just consider that. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the discussion, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. Bye, guys!